just happened.
Yeah, it's freely.
He was confused.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you start playing it that way, it's football games.
Again, when there's not football on is when I'll lock in more to the postseason. So, like, tonight I'll be more likely to watch baseball than I was last night.
Last night was a good one.
I know you can do multi-view and all that stuff, but when there's football on, that's usually where my attention is at. And so it'll be a little more baseball here the rest of the week as well. Let's start with last night, though, a little bit. In the Buffalo Bills in particular, they lose their second in a row. This time it's on the road to the Atlanta Falcons. The Bills now sit at 4-2. The Patriots in their own division are also 4-2. And, we've talked a ton about the number one seed on this show. And admittedly, I will say the number one seed door is absolutely cracked open. And it's open for, I don't know, half the AFC, it seems like, at this point in time.
I mean, the Colts are in the driver's seat somehow. So, yeah, I'd say it's open.
I know we've gone back and forth, and I was wrong about the path for Buffalo. I said they have the best path to get the number one seed. The schedule sets up nicely, and they're going to have a rougher time later in the year, but this next X amount of games is going to be easy. Heading into the Chiefs game, everybody thought they would be a one-loss team or an undefeated team. That was a pretty popular opinion. That's not going to be the case. You take a look at the AFC right now and other 4-win teams. So Buffalo, Patriots, Steelers are a 4-win team. Colts are a 5-win team. Jags are a 4-win team. Chargers are a 4-win team. Broncos are a 4-win team. And then, of course, Kansas City, the only team in the AFC that's sitting at 3-3. All those teams I just mentioned, we think some have a better chance than others, but all of them are alive for the number one seed. It's a really unique spot. Now, I will say, I looked at the odds this morning. By the way, the Bills still do have the best odds. So let me be clear about this. The door is open for everybody. The Bills are not running away with the number one seed like I thought. However, the Bills are definitely not out of the number one seed conversation either.
No, they're only a game back of it and do still have an easier schedule remaining than the Chiefs.
Yeah, the schedule thing still applies. The problem for the Bills is they can be beat by anybody. Their defense allows anybody in the game. It's why we liked the Falcons last night to cover and potentially win outright. The Falcons can run the ball. The Bills stink against the run. Any team that can run the ball effectively, Buffalo will be in trouble this year. And so I'd have to go through each one of their games. But by the way, Bills 3-1 still favored to be the one seed. Colts plus 320. Then there's a big drop off. Chargers are 6-1 odds to be the number one seed. Steelers plus 650. Then the Chiefs 8-1. Broncos 9.5-1. Patriots, despite being 4-2, are still 10-1 to be the number one seed in the AFC. What do you make of the one seed? You agree, though, that it's like 5 or 6 teams have a real chance?
Yeah, and I mean, again, I would still put the Bills as the team. If you made me predict today who's getting the one seed, I would probably assume that. And that's only because, genuinely, only because the Chiefs put themselves behind the 8 ball a little bit on that end. I have to take the Colts very seriously. Look, the Bills, who are getting ready to have a bye, I think, in between
13 days.
Yeah, so like they're getting ready to be off for a bit because they had the Falcons game and now they don't play until they take on the Panthers on the 26th. Look, the Bills are struggling, but they're not losing to the Panthers coming off a bye.
Oh, Carolina can run the ball, though. I mean, it's going to be closer than people think.
I know.
I mean, like that's their
Especially
issue.
With Rico Dowdle right now, they can run the ball.
These quote-unquote lesser teams are going to have a shot because they can control the clock a little bit and run the ball. Buffalo, unless something drastically changes, everybody can run on them this year.
But Texans, Bengals, Browns, Jets, Dolphins, and Panthers are still in the schedule. And I'm not saying they're going 5-0 in those games, but those are incredibly winnable games. The thing I had undersold probably on the Bills is that their defense is much worse than I was anticipating. Just much worse. And I understand last night you're like, well, they only gave up 24. Bijan ran all damn day. Like, they're not giving up 30 a game. They're not the Ravens defense. They're not the Bengals defense. They're not the Cowboys defense. They're not getting up 30 points a game. I understand that. But for what I would call an incredibly soft schedule, now the Ravens were still fully healthy, so I'll give them week 1. But the Ravens scored on them. They dropped 40, obviously, in a game that they obviously should have lost. They've beaten the Jets, Dolphins, Saints. Is that the least impressive resume on the planet?
3 wins between all those teams. 3 wins between all those teams.
So 3 of your 4 wins are that, and the other one should have been a loss to absolutely should have been a loss to the Ravens. And you're like, okay. And the Ravens are not nearly as good as we thought they were, even with or without Lamar Jackson. It's like, I don't know, man. It's starting to feel a little bit like
they're vulnerable.
The resume is not quite as good as I thought. And their defense has been much, much worse than I was anticipating.
That's the key.
And that's really what stood out, is that for the longest time when they were one of the better teams in the NFL, they had one of the better defenses.
Yeah, 3-21 combined record of opponents that they have faced so far this year. Their schedule is still very soft. It's just that these teams that we thought they would have no issue with, if they have any bit of a run game, they're going to be in it. So you mentioned the schedule, Cody. Panthers, then the Chiefs, then they have the Dolphins, Bucks, Texans, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots. Those are the next, 6 to 8 games or so for the Buffalo Bills. And it is a very wide open number one seed conversation. I think record-wise, it'll tell you there's 6 teams in it. I still think I could narrow it down to probably 3 or
Colts,
4. The Bills still have a chance, obviously. I would say the Colts, you have to say they have a great chance at the number one
Great
seed.
start.
Believe it or not, Pittsburgh, because that division stinks. So here's the thing. Remember this conversation 3 years ago, 2 years ago? Nobody thought the Steelers were all that good as in going to the Super Bowl, but they racked up a bunch of wins.
They did.
And I think the same thing might happen here for Pittsburgh because you have a Ravens team that's 1-5. The Browns stink. The Bengals don't have Joe Burrow maybe at all the rest of the year. Maybe he comes back in the middle of December.
15, 16, yeah.
They get Cincinnati this week, so they're likely going to 6-1. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
they
missed a game.
5-1. They've had a bye week already. Sorry.
Yep.
So 5-1. I mean, before I would have thought that in Buffalo, you would have thought 14-win season. Now it seems like 13 is more than in play. Maybe 12 gets it done. 13, and you got a real chance of the 1 seed. Before it seemed like you got to get to 14. I don't think so anymore.
Of the teams we're discussing, it's inarguable that the Steelers have the easiest division. The Chiefs play in a division where the Chargers and the Broncos both look like playoff teams. The AFC South has a couple of playoff teams, although the bottom end of that division, like with the Titans, is awful. This is where I think the Colts are going to run into a problem. The Colts they have the Charger, really once they start now, their schedule gets a lot harder. They have at the Chargers, at Pittsburgh, at Atlanta 3 of the next 4 weeks. Those are all losable games. I'm not saying that they'll lose them all. At Kansas City, at Jacksonville, at Seattle, San Francisco in December when they might be healthy, Jacksonville again. That's a difficult schedule. And as much as I think the Colts are playing really good football, and they clearly are, I don't know that they're going to be able to maintain it. So maybe by that argument, I'm supposed to include Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is legitimately one of those teams, a lot like what you were saying a couple years ago. I watch them, and I am not impressed by what Pittsburgh is doing. I am not. Honestly, if a team's going to get the number one seed and it's not the Chiefs, please let it be
that's
Pittsburgh.
a different combo.
Oh,
yes.
I pray it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
If you let me choose any of the other teams that we're saying have a serious chance at it, let it be Pittsburgh. Oh, no. Got to go take on Aaron Rodgers in the AFC. Fine.
Are we sure,
Sounds
though,
good.
that the Steelers are going to do that? Because so they have the Bengals, then they got the Packers, the Colts, the Chargers. Later they have the Bills, the Lions as well. And it just...
This is why it's wide open.
I don't know if... What is the 1 seed? 13 or 12?
Might be 12 this year with tiebreakers.
So what I was saying is
Way
before
it's
I
going,
think
it
we
might
would
be
have
12 or 13.
You would have thought 14, and now I don't think it's going
Yeah.
to take 14 to get there, and so it's going to be a little more jumbled. It seems like right now it's week 7 now of the NFL season, so there's a ton of football. By week 14, all this can change in a hurry. Right this second, it appears to be very, very wide open. I still, if I could only bet on 2 teams to be the 1 seed, I would probably put my money on the Bills, and I would put my money on the Colts if I could at this point. If you're wondering, hey, what's the path for the Chiefs to get the 1 seed? Here's what I think. I don't know if you guys agree. I think, is it doable? Yes, but these are 4 things that have to happen. I think the Chiefs have to win at Buffalo. They need to win the rematch against the Chargers. To me, they at minimum have to split with the Broncos, and they have to win against Indy. If they do all that, then the 1 seed. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but those are the things I personally believe would have to happen because of tiebreakers that would come into play and everything that they would have to accomplish. And they could, but that's a lot.
I will say they have historically not been a very good team against Buffalo in the regular season, and that game is on the road. This matchup is favorable for Kansas City because Buffalo's defense is shaky, and Kansas City's offense, and I think, is the best in football. Remember we were having this conversation about when Rashee Rice gets back, I think they could be a top 3 offense. I'm already convinced they are. I haven't even seen Rashee Rice play a snap, and I think that they're the best offense in football. Say no more. I'm good to go. Mahomes is playing an elite level. The offensive line is playing. I know Rashee Rice has at least some ability. So if he's even 85% of what he was at any point last year, 80% of any point he was last year, offense is good to go right now. I understand injuries or other things could change it.
That's the other part of this whole conversation.
And the looming
Cody.
Simmons thing that I don't know, and I don't think that that's going to hold the entire year. It's just we don't have any information on it. So
That's the other part of this that we haven't talked a ton about with the Chiefs so far this year. Knock on wood. Go
They're very
look at
healthy.
look at all these other teams. The Chiefs are the healthiest team in football.
Colts are very healthy too.
and that's not a coincidence. And it's not jinxing anything at all. It's just the reality. We can still mention it. They're extremely healthy right now. They are in a spot that other teams are not right now, which is a great thing to take advantage of. There's all these. I mean, the Bills just lost a couple more players last night, and their loss to Atlanta, a few more defensive players, and I think an offensive lineman got hurt in that game. We all know the Ravens situation. Pittsburgh's actually pretty healthy right now. They're getting healthy in the secondary. The Colts, I would agree with you. The Chargers are not healthy. The Broncos are pretty healthy. I mean, you go through some of these other AFC contenders right now, and the Chiefs are as healthy as anybody.
Yeah, and the ones playing the best are the healthy ones, and that's fine. And I think that they are a part of that. Their whole thing is if the Chiefs are going to get the 1 seed, they got to go on a run starting like now. Like just get on a run. Just beat all these teams in front of you for a little bit of stretch. Raiders, fine. But then beat the Bills,
Yeah,
beat the Colts.
I really think
go through
it has
that
to
run
be-
and just start racking up wins against those teams, and I will start thinking of you as being the favorite and should be the favorite. They woke up this morning as co-favorites for the Super Bowl winners. Like right now, a 3-3 team, even though they're 5-1, 4-1, they're really good football teams. The odds makers tell you that the Chiefs should be co-favorite to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, at least
after the way
one.
this week's
At least
gone.
one book does. FanDuel, I think Buffalo is still the favorite, but the Chiefs have the second best odds at most books. And DraftKings last night moved the Chiefs to co-favorites. Tells you things are shifting a little bit. Thinking of shifting, how about the MVP conversation? That definitely has shifted a bit, even if people want to deny that it's happening. Oh boy, you send out one screenshot of the updated odds, and all of a sudden the conspiracy theorists come out of the woodwork in different cities. My goodness. Patrick Mahomes is the favorite to win MVP right now. He is the favorite. Baker Mayfield, some books has the second best odds, some books has the third best odds, but after last night's game concluded, Baker clearly now is number 2 in the odds market. This doesn't mean that that's how it's going to finish. By any means, it's going to move 100 other times. But Patrick Mahomes, after being 8-1, 10-1 at times this year, if not worse, is now the favorite to win his third, right, at this point in time?
Yep.
MVP. And going through some of the numbers, it's weird how people are pushing back on his season. Let me start with Baker. Baker Mayfield, I do believe if the season ended today,
I think his story's better.
He would win MVP in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the odds are not reflecting that because it's a season-long award. Baker Mayfield has had sensational numbers. He's got a team that's winning in clutch moments. He also has the narrative on his side. He hasn't won one before. Everybody loves the story. He's also down 4 of his receivers at this point in time. It's very impressive what Baker Mayfield is doing. He's leading his division right now. We talk all the time. That's also a qualifier.
Got a better record.
For this kind of thing. Got a better record. I have no problem. If someone wants to make the case for Baker Mayfield to be the MVP through 6 weeks, honestly, I have no issue with that. And I think that's where my vote would be currently. However, all the momentum is in Patrick Mahomes' favor right now. And you were looking up some of the specific numbers. This idea, though, that he shouldn't be the favorite is laughable, though.
Well, and I think some of it might just be because it's hard, because you got Andy Reid, and obviously we all respect their weapons. For the first time in a long time, we actually think he has people surrounding him, but the numbers are reflecting that. Oh no, Patrick Mahomes finally has people that he can throw to, an offensive lineman who can block. What is he doing with it? He's first in total yards, first in total touchdowns, second in the NFL in touchdown to turnover differential. The only guy better than him is Baker in that category. He leads a large chunk of statistical categories in the NFL, and most people just assume at this point he will eventually go on to win his division and everything else in between. And those first couple of games, people are going to erase. He's doing that. In those first couple of games, people are going to erase because they were like, he had no Xavier Worthy, he had no Rashee Rice. Things were, wonky, and it didn't look the same because you weren't expecting it to be the same. The second he got Worthy back, good to go. And he doesn't even have Rice back, which is why people think these numbers are
he's playing
going to
great.
explode.
He's
having
playing
a Josh
great.
Allen year, and I think that's throwing people off because I said total yards and total touchdowns. And that's more Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen numbers normally we point
People
out.
are only looking at passing, and right now his
Yeah.
rushing numbers are awfully impressive. That's the complete picture, and he's doing all of it right now. He's been sensational. He also has his best passer rating since 2022. That's a 99 right now. His deepest air yards per attempt for those that have been critical the last couple of years, understandably so, about his ADOT, average depth of target, and all that stuff. Well, since this is his most deep air yard pass attempts since 2018. It's 8.04, which is very, very good and back on track with what you were seeing in the first couple of years of Mahomes' career. It is way early to declare an MVP or anything like that.
Market will move.
But Patrick Mahomes is right there, and he's the favorite, in fact. Baker Mayfield has got a very strong case. Let's see how this thing works itself out over the next couple of weeks. But you find out, man. I know we know it in Kansas City from a team perspective. How many people, and it's more, I guess it's a fandom thing. It's media is more about the Chiefs as a whole. I don't think it's necessarily anti-Mahomes as it is anti-Chiefs. I think just fans are very anti-Mahomes, and so you got to take the social media stuff with a grain of salt, because you mention anything Mahomes on social media, and these, I don't know if it's bots. I don't know if people have like hashtag Chiefs Kingdoms, hashtag Mahomes saved on their Twitter, and they just look it up to get angry all the time or what. And people come out of the woodwork. All you say is Mahomes is a favorite, and you got people in your mentions out here saying, one tweet I got last night was, only because the refs want him to be MVP, which is just an idiotic take. Like,
why would the refs care? They get paid more money.
Because Cody, obviously the NFL has chosen one of the smallest markets in the NFL in Kansas City, Missouri, to be the face of the league. They've chosen that. Not Chicago, not LA, not New York, not anything like that. They've chosen Kansas City. It makes a ton of sense, right?
No. Sure. If for their logic, if they want it to make sense, I guess it does. Look at the numbers. Patrick Mahomes is having, once again, a great year. I could give you the pacing stats if you really want, but that's not, like, maybe we'll do that later in the show just so we're not bogging you down with numbers, but the numbers are there. This is both he has the name cachet and the numbers are there. And you know what his story is? Baker's story is obvious. He is doing it without Godwin, without Evans, now without Egbuka, without Bucky Irving. Every single time.
New OC.
The Tez Johnson clip yesterday was incredible. He talked about it in post-game, and then they released the sideline clip. You guys didn't see it. He's talking to his teammates, and he's like, man, they started chanting MVP. He's like, I haven't done anything this year. He's like, they're talking about Baker.
Yeah, dude,
what do you mean? They're not chanting MVP for you. Yeah. They're chanting it for Baker. So the story with Baker is incredible. Undeniably great. The question is always, can you maintain that level while your receivers are out? He is doing it right now. And if he continues to do it without these guys, or does it until they get back and then continues it, honestly, I think Baker will win MVP if that's how this goes down.
He would win it if the season was over today. If the season was 100%. Over, and I would have zero problem with it.
I wouldn't even argue.
The Chiefs are not in first place in the division yet. All that has to factor in. We looked it up on the just the trends of MVP over the last 15 years or so. But Baker, he deserves to be right there in the conversation. The reason why Mahomes is the favorite is people are the books and where the money is headed are banking also on Mahomes amplifying his numbers even more and the Chiefs getting hot. And they're going to, all of that in the history of him being able to do it for a full season. Baker hasn't shown he can do it all year yet. And the big thing for him this year, his interception numbers are way down. Remember last year he put up an insane touchdown. What the heck was that? Touchdown numbers. But the interceptions were very high. That's not the case so far this year.
No, it's different. I mean, he's pacing again very, very high at this point. And when you start looking at it, and the interesting part is we had Josh Allen included in this conversation, and he is certainly going to have a conversation there. What stood out to me is
it's not over for him yet either.
No.
I understand last night wasn't good. I understand he's got the third best odds. It is not over for Josh Allen's opportunity to win MVP either.
I think what stood out to me is Patrick Mahomes is one of many quarterbacks this year having very good touchdown to interception and total yardage years. It's not just him, Baker, and Josh Allen. Matthew Stafford has similar stats, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Drake May. There are a lot of guys with close to the same number of touchdowns, close to the same number of interceptions, close to the same number of at least passing yards. I would say Mahomes has jumped it a little bit in the rushing yards. And Justin Herbert, there are a lot of guys. This is maybe one of the more, and I think we said this is a very wide open MVP year. The fact that Patrick Mahomes was like 10-1 2 weeks ago, and now he's the co-favorite, probably tells you we could be 2 weeks away from a complete flip of these again.
If the Chiefs, I don't think it'll happen, but let's just say in this hypothetical, it's the NFL, crazy things happen. If Mahomes and the Chiefs don't play well against the Raiders, okay, on Sunday, and it's ugly, all of a sudden, boom, he's back to 5 or 6-1.
Yeah,
and same with Baker. There's also the injury factor with any of these guys. If somebody misses even one game, it can derail your entire MVP path. That's just.
Or if Baker, because and not to his own fault, is missing every wide receiver on his entire roster, goes out and lays an egg this week, which would be reasonable again, based on the Bucs' current injury-related issues. I would say that, he'll slide back or whatever comes into play. But if the Chiefs go out and win their next few games, if they go out and beat the Raiders, then beat Buffalo and all this other stuff, well, then we're probably having a different conversation. They got the Lions this week, so Goff could jump up a little bit too.
Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll talk about some of the members of the coaching staff and their names maybe popping up already with the Titans job opening at the end of this season. It's open now, but obviously they can't hire anybody in the middle of the season. But the Titans firing Brian Callahan. And so we'll get into that, what Ian Rappaport had to say in just a few minutes. Thinking of what people had to say. Now, you caught this because I was at the game, so I did not hear this. You caught something towards the end of the broadcast from Chris Collinsworth that you thought was interesting.
Could have maybe talked about it yesterday, but I did think it was of note because it's a conversation we had on this show about a week ago before they'd even faced this game. It was probably right before the Jags game. Jags game might have shaken your confidence a little bit, but we'll say. We might have said it on Monday.
Okay.
He said, when speaking to people internally who work for the Chiefs or coach for the Chiefs, that they feel better about this team at 2-3. He was saying that obviously they had not won.
But they were doing they were taking knee.
No, but he was saying they had told him that before the game, right?
They had said, not
they
him.
had said. So before they'd even beaten the Lions or put a beat down on them, he said when he had spoken with a bunch of people who work for the organization, they were saying internally that they like this team better than the same team they had last year, especially at this time. They are more optimistic
Well, do the eye
about
test.
this year's team. I mean, it's
The eye test. Look at the offense and the offensive line and everything that's going right now.
some of it is offensively, but they're not worse defensively. That's the thing. They're at the least about the same as they were defensively last year. Or maybe, like, if they're worse, a spot or two amongst NFL teams. Let's say they were the 5th best defense last year. They're the 7th best defense this year. They are so much better offensively. Patrick Mahomes is so much more comfortable. The record was not giving a good indication of the Chiefs' internal optimism about how good this team could be. And I think you should take that, knowing that they were saying that to them before they had even beaten the Lions. They had just given up a bad loss, I thought, to the Jaguars, a game that they easily could have won.
Well, and that's also where the frustration comes in because you can play this game with a lot of teams in the league, but I'm sure there's a feeling that they should be 4-2 right now, right? Like a real feeling. And you can make a case, even there's a, depending, I mean, you could even, there is a scenario where you can easily map out a 5-1 start, but they're not. They're 3-3. The record is the record. But it's all to me about the offense. You're right. The defense is not bad by any means. They just held the number one offense in football to 17 points for crying out loud. So I definitely feel good about the defense. But so much of the eye test is about the offense not looking painful to watch every single drive. And it's so much of an effort. They looked effortless at times moving the ball. That was the beautiful thing here recently. Offensively, the O-line's a big part of the equation. We just got done talking about Mahomes and how well he's playing. It all comes together. And then, of course, the emergence of Tyquan Thornton, that they didn't have that deep threat last year. We know Rashee Rice is back in the building, practicing, starting tomorrow, going to play on Sunday. We don't know how limited at all, if he'll be limited at all. But he'll play Sunday in some form or fashion. Hopefully he's a full go. All that is why you should feel great about the direction they're treading. And you watch what's going on in the NFL, man. The last, I guess, what is it now, 32 hours or so, have been pretty darn good. Pretty good for the Chiefs. Yes, the Chargers losing would have been even better, but seeing how Buffalo looks, how vulnerable they are, how great the Chiefs looked. The Broncos got a win against the Jets, but they weren't impressive at all.
One time the
offensively
Chiefs
in that
looked
game.
human, and everyone else in the league decided to come back to the pack. Now, you could look at it as the Chiefs allowed they came back to the pack, and they're just amongst the rest of the AFC teams, if you want to look at it that way. But no one at this point, except the Colts, have taken advantage of the fact that the Chiefs are off to a slower than average start from a record standpoint. But look like they're getting ready to get their feet under them, which is bad news for everybody.
All right, let's talk about one of the play callers, or at least one of the guys that helped with the game plan in Kansas City, and his name coming up for a job opening already. And we'll talk some college football, an interesting week locally and what it means for the SEC in particular.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Trent McDuffie. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Our Best. We believe.
Looking for a taste of the coast right here in Kansas City? Every Tuesday at Pearl Tavern, you can dive into $2.50 tacos and shrimp tacos and sip on $5 house margaritas made with premium Jose Cuervo Tradicional Silver Tequila from 3 p.m. to close in the bar area. It's Taco Tuesday, seafood style. So cast your weekend stress aside and let Pearl Tavern tide you over until the weekend. Pearl Tavern, your local fresh seafood spot in Lee Summit.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Getting engaged? So friends, listen up. Shane Company engagement rings are protected with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We stand behind the same quality we've offered since 1929. Our rings are crafted to last. It's why our warranty is the only one that protects your center stone. We also cover repairs, resizings, cleanings, and so much more. That's money you keep for you and your family. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Score big savings with Hy-Vee and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big points mean even bigger savings. Just shop Hy-Vee the day after a game and earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score and based on the amount you spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, you save 42 cents a gallon with any $42 purchase. The more we score, the more you save. Win or lose, everyone scores the day after a Chiefs game only at Hy-Vee. Offer good in-store and online. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
I love going to Hy-Vee, but I've got 2 kids in high school and life is busy. That's why I love the convenience of ordering my groceries with Hy-Vee's Aisles Online. It's easy. Just download the app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Then choose your store, select your items, and Hy-Vee will do all the shopping. All you have to do is pick up your order or have it delivered to you. Try it today. New customers get $10 off your first Aisles Online purchase with the code. Save time, save money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com. RepairClinic.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Just getting started on a Tuesday. Cloudy, rainy. I don't know if it's raining. I don't know. Where's the
just
sun?
a Tuesday.
Where's the sun, please?
I always dislike, like last week on Thursday, I had to teach class, and it was like 71 degrees and sunny. I'm like, this is the worst. None of us should be in here. We should be
Why don't
free.
you go outside? You're the professor. Take them outside. Move the class outside.
We have to do stuff on computers. Can't really take those outside.
Laptops?
Well, the software is on the computers
Okay.
that sit in front of them. In fairness, for the performance class, we could have maybe. For the radio and television performance class, maybe. I got an email from UMKC today. They're expecting their largest enrollment class of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
That's what it said.
That's good news.
That's what the email.
Good for them.
To my work email. Wait, is that not? That's not like under. It's not like private information.
No, I mean, KU just announced that they had just had their largest enrollment class ever as well.
Okay. I'm just making sure, like, I didn't, celebrating our largest incoming class of first-time college students in university
That's great.
history.
I love it.
More students coming my way.
It's because they want to take your class. Is clearly what's
You
going
know
on.
what?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Correlation.
a lot of times.
Who's to say?
It's not always causation though. It's not always. But yes,
A lot of times there's the athletic department's success that helps funnel that in, but maybe it's your presence.
They were
Cody.
like,
It's
department.
actually the basketball program, man. All the attention they're getting.
They
now.
underachieved last year, unfortunately. They
We
need to
are
bounce
okay.
back.
Seriously, let's commit to this. We got a bunch of different ideas out there, and we got to get.
We
need to lock in and get some stuff finalized. This time we have to do that. With last year we talked about it. Some of you texted in. We do want to do an unofficial. It has to be unofficial these days.
Yeah, we're just going to go. We'll tell you when.
We'll just randomly, as a show, and you guys can come as well, go to a UMKC basketball game.
We'll have to take a look because the schedule is out.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they play on the road against Oklahoma State, I saw. And they got
Texas and TCU on the road back to back.
Get that money. Get that money. Get that check.
There is already out a Summit League men's basketball preseason poll.
And
St. Thomas is number 1.
Out of Minnesota.
Yeah, the Tommies.
Currently, the Roos are picked 6th. It's going to work better, though, this time, because last time they were picked first.
That's true.
And that went poorly.
All right. Marvin Menzies,
And instead,
let's go. Thinking of coaching. Let's get to some names that are going to come up again this offseason. And it already happened a little bit yesterday. So Brian Callahan was fired by the Tennessee Titans. That organization is a complete mess right now. Cam Ward, though, is their quarterback, their top draft pick. And we'll see what some of the names are at the end of the season. But I'm guessing Matt Nagy, at minimum, will get an interview. Because he's gotten interviews before, maybe even Spags as well. Here was Ian Rappaport discussing that very thing yesterday.
As far as the Titans, they now have to find a new head coach. A couple names to watch, Colleen. I would say Matt Nagy, who worked with Mike Bergonzi in Kansas City, certainly would be a name to watch. The decorated Chiefs offensive coordinator, and then Arthur Smith.
So just get ready for it.
Arthur Smith.
Just get ready for it. This is only the first opening. There will be, 5 other openings or 4 other openings because that's generally what happens every NFL offseason, 5, 6 openings. And these names will get interviews, Arthur Smith included. Matt Nagy, Steve Spagnuolo, they've been getting interviews the last couple off seasons anyway, and it'll only increase.
Here's the thing. I think it would be a complete disservice to not give both of them an interview. But the Matt Nagy argument is easy. So first for Spags. He's obviously the league's best ever defensive coordinator. I actually don't think it's much of an argument. He's won the most Super Bowl titles. He has been a good defensive coordinator no matter where he went. As a head coach, it went bad, and I don't mean bad. I mean bad.
It wasn't great. Wasn't great.
He went 11-41, a .212 winning percentage. He's a defensive-minded coach for Cam Ward, a quarterback and former number 1 overall pick. They're never hiring specs.
I just don't think a team is hiring, no offense to him, at this point in time in his career. That's all, age-wise.
If he was 20 years younger, he might get the Robert Saleh whatever job. I think someone might take a chance on him at some point, but it feels like he's probably just a lifetime defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, where he gets to rack up Super Bowl titles, and I hope one day be in the Hall of Fame as the single greatest coordinator to ever live, because his resume is going to be one of those they'll have to look at just for that reason alone. Some of you don't like Matt Nagy in this town. So I understand that you were frustrated with him when the offense was struggling and there were people in this town trying to run him out of town.
Crickets the last couple weeks.
As a result,
kind of weird.
Well, and look, I give Andy a hard time because he's been going out of his way every time to be like, I really love Nagy's game plan. Love Nagy's game plan. What a game plan from Matt Nagy. Notice, because it can't work both ways. Nagy deserves some credit when things are going well and some credit when things are going bad. But, Andy wants it where he gets none of the credit none of the problem when it's going bad. And we don't want to give him any credit when it's going good. It's got to be somewhere in the middle. I will point out, and I never understood this, Matt Nagy's tenure in Chicago, I genuinely think was impressive.
Yeah, remind everybody who his quarterback was.
For 4 years,
Who was the quarterback?
And he didn't even have him the entire time. But for 4 years, he was saddled with Mitchell Trubisky as his main starting quarterback during that entire time.
Yep.
Who has not been a starter really anywhere else for the rest of his time in the NFL. He made the playoffs twice.
Yeah.
He was a 12-4 team. He finished 500 2 of the other years. In his final year, they went 6-11. But generally speaking, considering the starting quarterback he had in play, he was an above 500 coach. I'm actually kind of surprised somebody doesn't look at Matt Nagy and be like, oh no, that was working. And now in retrospect, the problem was the Chicago Bears are the Chicago Bears. Not that Matt Nagy was holding them back from some epic moment.
In Chicago,
I'm watching a commercial right now where Mitch Trubisky's calling himself a professional backup.
Yeah, so I mean, in 2018, Trubisky was a Pro Bowl alternate, and Matt Nagy was Coach of the Year. Let's not forget that. But it's weird. If you go on in Chicago and you talk to people about Nagy, they act like he was terrible. I don't get it either. He deserves another opportunity. I think he'll get one day. I don't know if this will be it in Tennessee. There's also, of course, always the question, of what's the future look like in Kansas City and the opportunity that may or may not exist there. All that stuff you have to weigh. But no doubt he will get an interview for multiple openings this offseason.
I think what stands out to me is he is the only coach to have consistent success for them since Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith had some consistent success, obviously. He went to the Super Bowl, and they eventually ran him out of town because he wasn't adapting to the league, and things happen, right? He had a long run, maybe a 10-year run there in Chicago. They hired Tressman. He went 8-8 and 5-11. They fired him and went to John Fox, who never won more than 6 games in 3 years. After Nagy, Eberflus won 3-7. And between Eberflus and the guy that did the job part of the time, they went 5-12, and right now they're 3-3. So the best seasons you have had
3-2, right? Aren't they 3-2?
Or 3-2.
Yeah.
The best seasons you have had since Lovie Smith left in 2013, so 12 years, were all under Matt Nagy. So what's not appealing?
Yeah, his tenure was not a disaster the way people act like at all. Quite the opposite, actually. So anyway, something to keep an eye on. We know the connection also with Tennessee, as it was mentioned by Rappaport. Mike Borgonzi is the GM, so you have that connection potentially there as well. That'll be more of a story as other openings happen, specifically December, January, and things like that. And, it's always about fit. It also is not only the general manager side, but if you're Matt Nagy, if you get that opportunity, do you believe that's actually the place you could have the most success? Because you don't usually get 3 opportunities. So that second opportunity has to be a situation and a quarterback you also like. As much as you want to be a head coach again, do you actually believe in Cam Ward? I don't know the answer to that. But that's something you have to weigh.
I kind of like what I see, but
if you're one of these guys, you have to. If you don't believe in Cam Ward, well, then you should not take the job. I
don't think that's why
he doesn't have to be.
He
doesn't have to be desperate. He's not 65 years old. He will have another opportunity at some point.
And Mahomes is back on his game, so that makes it easier to get a gig. Well, college football time?
Yes, let's get to college football, Drew.
Can you play an instrument, Drew? It feels like you might have wanted to be on a drum line at some point in your life.
Drumline, I think I wanted to be on more, but I played the trumpet. Middle school, high school.
High school too?
High school up until I only did jazz band in high school. I didn't do the marching band thing.
That means you can play a couple.
Playing the trumpet, huh?
I probably can't anymore. I would. My lips would be sore probably afterwards because there's a lot of buzzing that goes on.
I mean, I teed you up, but thank you. We'll get that drop safe. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's talk some college football, Drew.
Y'all are nasty, man. That's just the.
Oh, you walked right into it.
You can't say a sentence.
Context matters, but you also paused.
But it's
you
true.
also paused. It was a standalone. Anyway, go ahead. College football.
Anyways, let's talk about the locals. We'll start with the locals, then we'll get to some more national stuff. But Missouri, I feel like their season's not over with. Obviously, there's a line, and I've said it last week, I think, that in the same was in the reaction. 10-2, 9-3 is the buffer zone. There's a hard line in the sand, it seems like, where if you're 9-3, you're out. Alabama 9-3 last year. South Carolina 9-3 last year. Ole Miss 9-3 last year. What happened? They missed the playoff. If any of those teams were 10-2, they're in. So Missouri's got to find a way to they can drop one more game, but they need to finish 10-2 to give themselves a shot at the playoff. Because if they're 9-3, and let's say their best win ends up being Vandy and not A&M or not Oklahoma, then it definitely hurts your chances where they'll probably rank 15th or 16th, and they're going to miss out on the playoff. They got to get to 10-2. Bo Perbula played the worst game of the season, and they still had a chance to win the game. I think there's a lot that you can take from that where, yes, it's a loss, Missouri probably played the better game, but it felt like they belonged.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I think Alabama was in control a huge chunk of that game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they outpossessed Missouri, I think, by 17 minutes, which the fact Alabama dominated possession, but in terms of Missouri's opportunities, they start off going right down the field, get to 7-0, and then they have the taunting penalty that would have ended the drive. Instead, they extended the drive. Bama goes and scores, killed all the momentum. They battled back to 17-all, and then they got away from the run game. Ahmad Hardy only had 12 carries. They were averaging 6 yards a carry. It just felt like every big moment, they did not get anything out of.
They had a chance to win it.
Alabama seemed to deliver every single time. Of course, Ty Simpson was fantastic.
He was. So. And look, Missouri, nobody's saying that Missouri didn't belong or anything like that. Missouri was right there against Alabama. But I will say there's one clear weakness that was exposed yet again, and it's going to be something that they're going to struggle with as they get into the heart of the schedule now. I mean, their schedule at the end of the season is going to be a top 10 schedule in football. But it's all happening now. Up until last week, they were 109th in terms of strength of schedule. And that was the question that we talked about it last week. And my question was more going to be about them slowing down Ty Simpson. Now, they did a great job on Ryan Williams and Bernard, but Ty Simpson found other weapons in that game. And Missouri does not have a deep threat. They can't stretch the field. It's a problem. And so that got exposed, I thought, a little bit. We'll see what they do at Auburn. The good news is it is still these, control your own destiny, if you will, for Missouri. But if they cannot lose more than one game.
Yeah.
So Auburn's tricky. They should win, but that's tricky.
Auburn's way better than what their record is.
Vandy's going to be really, really tough. A&M, of course. Mississippi State, probably fine there. Yeah. And then Oklahoma, while they just lost, I think by then they'll get their groove back offensively based on their quarterback returning last week, and he just wasn't right yet. Clearly didn't have enough reps coming back from the wrist injury. So this is not me hating. I thought Alabama would win that game. I don't believe Missouri is going to only lose one more game down the stretch. I think that's the struggle. I don't believe they have the deep passing game to get teams to not stack the box against Ahmad Hardy down the stretch of the season with really high-level competition now.
It did feel, though, I think, to me, is that a lot they get blown out in a lot of these games that they play. Going back to last year, Missouri, it felt like they're talent-wise a part of that big boy bunch for the first time, I think, since they moved to the SEC. They actually look like they belong in that. Real quick, too, Sunflower Showdown, not this weekend, but next weekend. K-State, college football is weird. I would not be surprised if K-State beat KU next week. I would not be surprised. The way that Avery Johnson's been playing, it feels like for a rivalry game, they get up for that. There's more pressure, I think, on KU, actually, for that game, which it just adds to the intrigue, of course, of the matchup. But I wouldn't be surprised if K-State finds a way to get that done. KU's going to have to figure out the defensive stuff. The least amount of rushing yards they've given up to a Power 4 team this year is 181 yards.
I mean,
their run defense is bad.
Let's not pretend like there's
bad.
a huge difference between the two. Kansas is 4-3. Kansas State is 3-4. Both are trying to get to a bowl game this year. Neither is competing for the Big 12 title. They're out of those conversations. So the biggest, did this season work for honestly both of these teams now is going to be whoever wins the Sunflower Showdown. They're going to try to hang their hat on that because they're not going to be able to hang their hat on some other version of the season.
You know where I'm at on Kansas. I'm very down on them. I think, yet again, Lance Leipold did not have them ready to play early in that game. They got a break when the quarterback got hurt. That's the reason why that thing got really tight and close.
I think they're just inferior.
They had sure, Texas Tech is the better team. We didn't expect them to win that game or anything. My point is, though, the way the game started, they were flat. They looked shell-shocked. It was ridiculous. They didn't look prepared to play. They got back in the game somehow. Quarterback gets injured for Texas Tech. They had the ball, Kansas State, with a chance to take the lead at one point in the third quarter. Yeah. Crazy, right? And you would sign up for that, but they ended up getting smoked by the end of it. Their defense is abysmal, and I'm with you. I think Kansas, of course, has all the pressure going into the game against Kansas State next week because, one, the history of not winning against Kansas State, and then this year, the thought is that they're the better team. But the gap is closer now that K-State is getting things going with Avery Johnson. So, yeah, that's going to be a completely bowl-type deciding game for me. Like, I know you disagreed with me a couple weeks ago, Drew, when I said I think Kansas is going to be 6 or 7 wins. You said, they'll still get to 8. I think they're going to be a 6 or 7 win team, and 7 is only if they beat K-State.
Yeah, I mean, I think KU can definitely get to a bowl. I mean, the rest of the schedule, they've got enough in the schedule where even if they lose, they're still going to get to a bowl game, I think. But yeah, it certainly is going to be interesting to see how that one plays out nationally. It feels like the SEC and the Big 12 are just going to beat each other up. This was kind of the thought process going into the season, but even more so now. The Big 10 is very top-heavy, but they don't have the depth of the Big 12 or the SEC in terms of teams that can win the conference. The SEC has, I believe, 8 or 9 teams that are ranked currently. It's just going to be a bloodbath, I think, going down the stretch where there might be a lot of 9-3 teams, and maybe we end up seeing a 9-3 at-large bid get into the college football playoff in the SEC, but it feels like we're at the stretch of the season now where over the next 3 to 4 weeks, these teams are just going to beat each other up a lot. And maybe it's just in terms of the standings, like Texas Tech is the team to beat, and it's really nobody. It's going to be
definitely the team to beat.
It's going to be
their roster is insane.
This season has turned into a who's going to play Texas Tech in the Big 12 title game, not who's going to be in the Big 12 title game. The SEC is a little bit more of a mixed bag.
SEC, it's just like this is the way college football works. Essentially, they got like 8 really good teams. Teams that are either 6-0 or 5-1. Ole Miss, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt. So it's like when you got a 20-team league, and until now, they don't actually have to play each other. They can play Delaware or whoever else before the SEC part of the schedule kicks in. This is what most years are going to look like. You're going to have 10 teams that essentially have 1 or 0 losses. And then they'll have to play each other, and we'll figure out which teams are really good.
Yeah, I think, for Alabama, they get Tennessee, I think it is this weekend, so their schedule, like most of these teams in the SEC, is brutal. If they could beat Tennessee, then it's all right there for Alabama to be in the college football playoff. And Ty Simpson's already towards the top of the odds boards for Heisman. If they beat Tennessee and he stays healthy, to me, he'll be invited to New York. And you're going to hear more and more draft buzz about him being a late first-round pick.
Him and Fernando Mendoza.
Yep.
We'll talk about James Franklin a little bit more and what Indiana potentially could be involved in that sort of a deal with a Penn State. But Indiana, hey, shout out to the home state. They're 3rd in the country. Also, I think Deion's doing a lot better job, not necessarily than people thought, but I think a lot of Shador and Travis Hunter are gone. They just beat Iowa State pretty handily. It felt like Deion is solidifying himself as a solid college football coach, and it's not just
I think so. They're 3-4, but I get what you're saying.
Colorado was a really bad program when he took them.
They're going to be able to fight towards a bowl game if that's what you're saying.
Like Kansas bad.
Yeah, because I think their over/under this year was 5.5.
Okay, so he's on pace to be about.
He's also playing a true freshman quarter. He's mixing the quarterback situation with Caden Salter, who transferred from Liberty, and then also Julian Lewis. Deion's doing a really nice job, I think, of continuing to build up that program amidst all the health stuff that he's got going on, too. It's been a really interesting year for Colorado football. So Shout
we
out to
will
Dion.
talk about James Franklin in the next hour. We'll get to that around 11:10 or so.
Coaching
James Franklin.
carousel is crazy already, man. That thing's on fire. Some good jobs out there.
So that's a little look at college football. One thing that takes place typically in the gap there that of the Super Bowl and the AFC title game, NFC title game is the Pro Bowl games or the Pro Bowl that we used to have, and it's become a joke. And
yeah, nobody cares about it.
Now they just play flag football and they do tug of war. I'm joking, but I think they do. I don't even know. I think it is tug of war.
Might.
They might as well at
They
this
did a
point. It
snapping
might just be
challenge.
just play Mario Party and all the mini games from Mario Party back in the day. Well, anyway, the latest report from Front Office Sports is that the Pro Bowl games are going to move to Super Bowl week. It'll be part of that's the rumor.
Part of the festivities?
Yeah, so this year's Super Bowl's in Santa Clara. Maybe on that Tuesday of Super Bowl week, you would have Pro Bowl games. My only question with this would be, and I don't care as a viewer because I wasn't watching anyway, I wonder how many players are going to opt out even more because at least the week after, all right, the AFC title game happens, then you have it, and then your offseason begins if you're not in the Super Bowl. Now you're asking players that maybe were eliminated a month ago to go to the Super Bowl week and do it?
I think the only benefit you might get is a lot of those guys are taking big checks to go wander Radio Row on a Thursday anyway.
Yeah, but not everybody's doing that.
No, but if you're Justin Jefferson, you take your
that
money
guy's
from
going no matter what.
You take your money from Sleep Number or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you think there might be a chance to double dip in the check department, maybe you go out there on the Tuesday to handle the Pro Bowl stuff, and then you move on to your obligation outside of there. The thing is, and this is where I will say, this is the final straw that is them just giving up on it. Just quit. Just quit. I know every league, or completely reinvent it. Take it away like people have done and then bring it back after 10 years, like some menu item from, Taco Bell from 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Take the Pro Bowl completely away for 10 years. Find a way to reinvent it in a way that you think people would actually be interested in. And then by then, maybe you can catch a little buzz. Because right now, it's dead and no one's interested.
Yeah.
Moving it to Super Bowl week is not going to make us more interested or less interested. We don't care. No one cares. We are sports radio hosts. We are your demo for this. And you can't even get me to flip it on. Like, you can't get Gold. You can't get, I might be desperate for football in between the Super Bowl when the Chiefs weren't in it. Now it's a little different. But, I didn't watch the Pro Bowl then. And it's only gotten worse since they switched to the games, and it's I'm not watching it.
I hear you on the, hey, go get a check at the, at Radio Row, but some of those guys are going, Justin Jefferson can do that every single year the rest of his career and find some. I just think a lot of the players are going to say, not worth that check. I'm going to go on my vacation. I haven't played football in a month already. I'm out.
done.
I'm done. It's now you're asking a week after where it would normally be. So I wonder what it'll mean for who participates. But if you're not playing a football game anymore and you're just doing these mini game type stuff, who cares?
It's their problem with eliminating the Pro Bowl games, and when they eliminated Pro Bowl is that means being called a Pro Bowler means nothing.
Yeah,
there
are still financial incentives.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's in people's contracts, so you have to keep it around until that stops being in someone's contract. Being named a Pro Bowler still makes someone 50
to the Pro
grand,
Bowl list.
100 grand. Yeah, and it is what it is.
It's just a Pro Bowl list.
But
there's no
then
bowl.
let's just get rid of the all. It's to have Pro Bowl and All Pro. Everyone respects All Pro more.
Yeah.
And less people have All Pro written in their contracts. Not none. Some have both written into it because it's a way of making extra money. But it's dead, man. You have to complete. And I don't look. I'm not pretending like I'm smart enough to know what the reinvention looks like yet. But I'm telling you, you have to reinvent it. It's dead in its iteration. It stinks. And some leagues have done a better job. I think baseball's going to start leaning into what if we essentially make the All-Star game banana ball? And that's why they're working in partnerships where they're going to try to make it fun for everybody. The NBA All-Star Weekend's fallen a little flat too.
Well, they're trying to do the international stuff.
And they're trying to
now.
do the international stuff similar to the hockey reinvented its All-Star. And it was great. Reinvention is probably their only path left. The problem is that it's an injury-riddled sport. So getting people on a football field is a dangerous game.
Sports Talk here on 96.5. The Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Let's discuss the running backs now in Kansas City. Are the Chiefs leaning in a different direction? There were some rumors about names teams are targeting for trades. We'll fill you in on those, and we will talk about James Franklin and getting paid a nice, $49 million to go away. What a gig. Next.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Josh Simmons. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, you bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download the FanDuel app today. Get started. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Kansas. First, online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets will expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months. 0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hello, Kansas City. Christopher Youngers here with Cafe Trio. The seasons, they are changing. And if you haven't seen Cafe Trio during the holidays, from Halloween, the Plaza Lights, and Christmas with all of our decorations, well, then you've missed out on one of the most seasonally spectacular dining experiences in town. Offering live music, very spirited holiday decorations, and farm-to-table fresh menus, Cafe Trio is the place to be for the holidays. 45th and Main, cafetriokc.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24-monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hi, we're your friends who get super excited about the holidays.
We sure are, or this isn't the ugliest holiday sweater ever.
People think we're happy because we love peppermint lattes.
Or catching snowflakes on our tongues.
But really, it's because it's Holiday Millionaire Raffle Season! It's your best odds to win $1 million.
That's dollars, not twinkling lights, but that would be great too.
Play the Kansas Lottery Holiday Millionaire Raffle. Get excited!
See kslottery.com for details.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain Scent Boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Listen to the Chiefs and Raiders on Sunday with pregame starting at 9, kickoff at noon with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
$11 hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We will get to the trash of the day here in about 20 minutes or so. Here in about 8 minutes, we'll get to what's going on at Penn State. James Franklin fired after losing to UCLA and Northwestern in back-to-back weeks, 3 straight losses if you include the Oregon one as well. And he got paid or will get paid to just go away. They owe him a lot of money still in that deal. And
I did like in his contract he has to look for a job.
Yeah, they put that in there. If he has to at least attempt, and that way they can pay the difference of it.
But imagine just sitting in the interview and being like, what would make you a great coach here at, let's say, Indiana, their coach gets plucked. And he's like, what would make you a great coach here at Indiana? And he's like, I don't even want this job. This school sucks. He's like, Bobby Knight was overrated. And he just yells things about Indiana that stink. He's like, I interviewed. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I got an interview for the job. They don't want to hire me. It's weird. He might still want to coach.
I'm surprised you didn't use Rutgers as the example in this. But
no, because Schiano, they like him.
Come on,
they like Greg Schiano.
I also think Indiana desperately likes Kurt Signetti as well.
Of course they do. Mine was not that they were going to fire him. Is that some bigger school was going to come after him.
We'll get to all that. We'll get to all that in just a couple of minutes. And Drew, I know you got a lot to say, but make sure you're staying hydrated over there. All right.
My lips would be sore afterwards.
Yeah, we'll get there. We will get there. Let's talk some Chiefs football. We all know a few weeks ago, it became very clear, and it appeared at the time, that, all right, running back, major problem. Here are the names, Breece Hall, and people bringing up Achane and others that they wanted the Chiefs to look at.
Still like both those guys.
For sure.
Yes.
The trade deadline is, November 4th, I think it is. Tuesday, November 4th at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There were rumors heading into Sunday's game from Mike Garafolo over at NFL Network that multiple teams are expected to begin calling as soon as this week. It mentioned, the 49ers are on the hunt for edge help. The Jets and Titans have received calls for potential trades. It says the Chiefs and Chargers have asked around about running backs. And it mentions Breece Hall and Kamara as 2 guys expected to garner heavy interest. Okay, makes sense. My question for you is, do you believe, not that you would personally still do you believe the Chiefs are watching the backfield the last few weeks and seeing the offense and saying, well, maybe, just maybe, and I understand the report is saying the Chiefs have called around, but do you believe are they going to be in the market of those 2 big names? Do they feel that they're getting enough from their backfield? I still want them to also go and acquire a running back. Do you think, though, with the way the offense is trending, they're going to say, you know what, maybe we don't?
They're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. That's where I'm thinking it's going to happen after all
Bad
this.
news, everybody. They are not going to do it. It's just reality. Look, it was getting to a point where I think they would have strongly considered it, just based on the positioning that they were in. But, and I've said this about this team before, and I think it's probably important to note that when you look at the Chiefs' running game, it's not like they've needed a dynamic running back to go on and win all these Super Bowls. We talk about this all the time. Damian Williams has like 4 career receiving touchdowns from Patrick Mahomes and ran for like 500 yards in the first year they won it.
I wonder if they believe just the addition of more and more of Brashard Smith as the season goes along is going to give them the explosiveness.
And the passing part. The other part is, and this is the part that's probably been way undiscussed, is they've actually figured out how to run the last couple of weeks, and it's been by going under center. Yep. Somebody's run the numbers, so we don't have to. Yards per carry, under center this year, and I just want to remind you, they started going under center for the runs 2 weeks ago, so they started really increasing at Gold just the last 2 weeks. Under center versus in shotgun running game. In shotgun, they're averaging 3.6 yards per carry. That stinks. Under center, they're averaging 5.2 yards per carry, which is one of the better in the league, a 45% success rate, and 2.4 yards per rush before contact, which is a full 2 yards better than they were getting under center. So part of the problem is that they figured out how to run, Gold. And that part of their issue was that they don't know how to run under center, or they're bad at running under center, probably more importantly. And they've made an adjustment based on that, and the offense is working. The offense looks like the best in football the last 2 weeks. You think they feel some desperate need to go find a running back? That's the problem. They're not going to do it. I'd still do it, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's why I said there's a difference between like what you would like them to do, and I don't believe if Pacheco stays healthy and Kareem Hunt stays healthy and Brashard Smith stay healthy over the next 3 weeks heading into the trade deadline, I get this sense also that they wouldn't do it. It'd be fun all of a sudden, because then I would ask you if they made that trade. If they made that trade and nobody got hurt, then who are they cutting? You can say, oh, they just cut Kareem Hunt. I don't think they would. I would, but I don't think. See, I'm saying I don't think they want to do that.
Or they trade Pacheco back to the team that they acquired.
I guess
as an effort of like making the roster positioning.
I don't think they're doing that.
I don't think they are either. I'm just saying, like, here's a possible solution. I do not think they're trading for a running back anymore.
I think it's more likely eventually they're going to start shopping on the defensive side for just a rotational defensive end. But so much is dependent on the next 3 weeks. If all of a sudden I tell you Charles Omenihu gets another 3 sacks over the next 2 or 3 weeks, then I think the answer for that is no as well. So we're assuming health too. Health changes everything for any of this kind of stuff. But, for once, they're not a team that's looking for wide receiver help. How nice is that? Usually this is the time of the year we start saying, what wide receiver is available to go and trade for?
If anything, a team should be looking at the Chiefs' depth and
they're
saying,
not going to trade him.
No, I know, but like
they just had to cut Brownlee because Rashee Rice is back on the active roster.
They don't even need Jalen Royals, who they drafted in the 4th round. Nobody's mentioning his name, nor should they. They shouldn't be like, hey, normally in previous seasons, like we talked about, you're going to be like, how do we get Jalen Royals more involved? Let's get those. Don't even need it.
That's fine.
Tyquan Thornton was a non-factor in the last game. Didn't matter. They moved the ball with ruthless efficiency. They're averaging 118 yards per game this year. It is 14th best in the NFL. I understand Mahomes is a part of that.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 games, they're averaging a little better than 130 yards per game. That would put them at 6th, 7th, right around top 5 in the NFL in rushing yards per game. They are not going to look at this and say, this needs a solution. Now, my only hope is that they don't find some way to get Pacheco a contract that means they don't feel like they have to keep looking at it. My thing is still about finding young running backs, and I thought running back might have been the one thing holding him back this year. They might just throw it 40 times a game and run it 20. Like, they might be the most pass-heavy team in the NFL, and based on their weapons in the offensive line, I can't even blame them. It makes sense.
I don't think they're making a trade for any offensive player at this point.
Unless
there's an injury. That's it, and it'll be interesting. And I understand that report came out right before the game that they've called around. Well, did they call around a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Because things have changed in the last 2-3 weeks, and certainly after what happened on Sunday Night Football against the Lions. We'll get back to the Chiefs during the Chiefs Red Half Hour here in 20 minutes. In particular, we'll discuss whose playing time goes up, down, production up, down, all that when Rice, as in this Sunday, is back on the field.
It's going to be weird to see him on the field because he was hurt all last year and hasn't played this year.
Yeah, I do think we'll talk about it. I think there's a chance he just goes off on Sunday too. Like
you
the
think
Chiefs
he just steps right in, doesn't miss a beat,
I think there's a chance the Chiefs just don't even mess around. They're like, he just comes out and just basically it's sending a message to everybody. Like
I will say he's gonna be hungry.
He has an 8-catch, 95-yard touchdown day. Like I think that anyway. We'll talk about it later in the week. That's where my mind is at right now. But let's get to college football again. We mentioned James Franklin. He was fired Sunday morning as the head coach of Penn State. They had lost 3 in a row. They had lost at UCLA, and then they just followed up with a loss at home to Northwestern. Now he still is owed $49 million across the remainder of that contract. And as we mentioned as well, he does have to seek employment. And if he gets hired to be a broadcaster or a coach, then Penn State only owns the difference, right? If he gets a gig that pays him $2.5 million,
language essentially
pays him $2 million, then they only owe him $6 million a year so you get the idea how that will work. He also reportedly his home in Happy Valley is listed now on the market for $3.3 million on all that. First, anytime pay me to go away, $49 million to us.
I will leave the show right now.
Say whatever you want about me.
Even I like you both, but if they said $49 million and you have to delete Alex and Drew's number from your phone and never speak to them ever again, I'd be like, well, guys, it's been a pleasure, but for $49 million, I got to go. No, the most interesting part about this is how quickly, like, I always have 2 big takeaways of this. One, I never, ever, 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 ever will tolerate anybody who says there's not money to pay players, because I understand this isn't the university paying them, but it's not the university paying these NIL deals either. So there's plenty enough money to go around if there's enough money to pay someone $50 million to not work for your university.
A couple boosters were tired of James Franklin. They said, hey, I can come up with a few million a year to help pay this guy off.
So if you're tired of not seeing the team win enough, pony up that same dough and NIL money and problem solve. Second is I always like the first initial dilution of who they're going to hire. There was a report this morning that Drew and I were talking about where they were like, they think they got a good chance at Marcus Freeman.
No.
Like, what the hell is going on here? He's leaving Notre Dame, a school that he's winning at, to go take Penn State?
Not happening. Not happening at all. Not at all. I think realistic names. Realistic names, and again, you make these people tell you no. So I understand if you want to make phone calls to Mark. Sig over at Indiana. Matt Rule, he was already asked about it at his press conference.
Yeah, Matt Rule answered it really weird.
Matt Rule was already asked about. We were texting Drew in our group chat on Sunday morning about Matt Rule and stuff, and I understand Nebraska, he's got momentum there and all that, but his alma mater is Penn State. And so I think he's a name definitely to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately, if you're a Nebraska fan, that you should be nervous about that. I think the trickle-down effect is always interesting in this stuff. If Florida fires their head coach, does James Franklin end up at Florida? Then what's the trickle-down from that? If Indiana has an opening, what's the trickle-down from that? I just think Matt Rule is an interesting name and Sig to watch at Penn State.
I think Matt Rule's weird because I get if he's offered the job, I think he 100% is taking it.
Yes.
I think even if it's like a slight boost from what he's making at Nebraska, and I don't know what that is right now. I don't have the numbers in front of me. He's taking it. I don't know if it's the right hire for Penn State, though, because I went and I did the numbers. Matt Rule is a rebuild guy. That's what he's always been. That's only what he's done. Temple rebuilt the team, left. Baylor rebuilt the team, left for the NFL. Stunk in the NFL, came back, and he's rebuilt Nebraska again. We haven't seen him have success long-term.
We've never seen him try, though.
Correct, but his
he's left after 3 years.
His record against ranked teams is not good.
Just like Franklin.
And he might just be James Franklin again, which goes back to our conversation last week of who are you replacing him with?
Who do you think they should hire then?
I mean, in terms of who they should hire, I think Cignetti's the best option to go after, but I don't think if I'm Kurt Cignetti, I'm not taking that job.
Why?
I mean, dude, you're in Indiana. It's Penn
he's also
State.
He's also number 3 in the country and just beat Oregon. It's not like he's at Indiana 23rd in the country, undefeated.
I'm saying he can just do that.
He is the number 3 team in the country. There's no pressure in Indiana. He's probably going to have a statue built after him afterwards. Why would you leave that situation to go and do some sort of a rebuild at Penn State? Have to deal with more pressure.
Oh, there's definitely more pressure.
To make $1 million more dollars a year. To me, it doesn't make any sense for him to leave Indiana. I don't know why he would want to leave.
Then why did he leave James Madison, though? Like, I hate the argument
that's not fair. That's
there's
not
more
fair,
pressure in
though.
Indiana than James Madison. He can't leave the job because there's more pressure. Get out of here.
You're not wrong. There's more pressure, but that's not a fair comp. Come on, you and I both know financially it's a different stratosphere. Literally a different planet.
No, I don't think it is.
No, James, we say Indiana and Penn State are the same job.
Let's stop. We're all talking over each other for a second. Somebody go first. I don't care, but we're all like talking.
Are we really trying to say that Penn State and Indiana are not differences in quality of jobs?
Absolutely.
I think he's made Indiana a really good job right now, actually. I think where James Franklin has maybe made it, it's still a good job because it's Penn State, but it's more of a historical significance than right now.
Whoa.
Right now, what job would you rather have, Indiana or Penn State? Stop. I think they're more equal than people are giving them credit for.
So here's the balance.
And it's because of Curt Cignetti. Why would he want to leave something that he's built up, I think?
He's been sensational.
For a job that's a sideways move.
Yeah, he's been sensational. He's taken Indiana to heights they have never seen before. That is all true. I think sometimes we have to remember what they are right this second because of him, though, is still not what it doesn't mean that Indiana now for the rest of time is just going to be a top 10 team in the country. And so Penn State, historically, it does matter in terms of financial backing and all this. I know NIL budget has increased in Indiana drastically, but is Indiana suddenly just now a football school? I'm just saying there are still long-term questions about.
And they might be
I don't know, right? I mean, their basketball program has stunk for 30 years, but they probably should shift to that. I mean, for those that are,
they've also got Mark Cuban. They have a lot of resources in Indiana,
and so does Penn State. They just paid a coach $49 million to go away, so they have resources as well. I'm just saying that. Penn State, we can't act like that Indiana is just a better job now because right this second Indiana is better. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
For Curt Cignetti, Indiana might be a better job. For anybody else, it's Penn State, of course.
So you're just saying Cignetti, you believe he personally, his personality, he's going to stay at Indiana the rest of his coaching career.
I didn't say that. I'm saying
that's kind of what you're saying.
No, I'm saying why would he leave this second when they are the number 3 team in the country recruiting-wise? They are maybe 10 spots back in the recruiting rankings for next year. So it's not like he's getting the 51st ranked class.
Because he's the hot name now. He might not be that in 4 years. He may not be the guy that can get the Penn State job. You know what I mean?
I also think, Drew,
but it doesn't. What is better about Penn State? They'll pay you $1 million more. They were paying James Franklin $200,000 more than Curt Cignetti's currently getting in Indiana.
But Drew,
resources.
You're talking about it.
It makes no sense.
You're talking about it like the way, like we talk about other programs. Penn State is not like in the position Nebraska was in, whereas 20 years of they weren't a top program anymore and they don't need to talk about themselves in the category.
Yeah, they're not a sleeping giant. I understand that.
But like Penn State has maintained their level. I also think that you're mischaracterizing him. I think Sig, the guy who showed up at the doorstep and said, you know what I am? I'm a winner. Google me. Like the idea that he's afraid of like more pressure at Penn State or he's not going to take the job because there's more pressure. That's the antithesis of anything he has shown from a personality standpoint. Versus, I would say he is shown to be the person who wants the challenge, who wants the additional pressure, and would take the bigger job as a result of that. You characterizing as why go take a job that has more pressure. He seems like the kind of person who would like that.
You sell your vision of your culture. I mean, what's the...
Who are you talking about? The high school guys, the transfers, who?
All of the above. I mean, how do you... Is there
it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
That's not to say that people wouldn't
want... That's a badass line. And then to back it up.
It's not to say that people wouldn't go play for him at Penn State. It's not to say any of that. But let's say he goes over to Penn State and they go 10-2, it stinks. It's the same thing they just had. It's the exact, he might as well be James Franklin. He might as well be James Franklin. If he went to Penn State next year and they went 10-2 and they lost in not even the semifinal, because people forget James Franklin made it to a national semifinal last year. Let's say they get outed in the first round and they go 10-2. It's a worse season than they had with James Franklin the year before. Why would he want to leave?
Yeah, for the record, I think Matt Rule is taking the job.
It doesn't make any sense to me why he would want to leave Indiana when he has the number 3 team in the country and just beat Oregon. He has made Indiana a top-tier program in the country that people have to pay attention to. Jumping to Penn State is, at this point, a sideways move. If he would have left last year, okay, I get it. It makes sense. But he has basically made Indiana what Penn State has been for a longer period of time, but he's made Indiana what Penn State has been. We'll see what they do in the playoff, but right now, for Curt Cignetti, to me, it seems like a sideways move.
All right, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
All right, we go to Pullman. Thinking of colleges, how about Washington State? We go to Pullman, Washington, the Palouse, as they say, up on the Palouse. A man bombed his own apartment.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, so he bombed his own apartment.
For what reason?
Well, so he had a shotgun, bottle rockets, fire logs, lighter fluid in his vehicle. During a 4-hour standoff, how the police were able to get this gentleman out, He had been smoking meth, led police on a high-speed chase before his car was stopped by a spike strip, okay? But he shot a firework into the ceiling with a mortar, damaged 8 apartments, and forcing dozens of people to leave, okay? The kicker, if that's not enough for you, during the 4-hour standoff, in order to get him out, the condition of him surrendering, he said, I want a meal from Dairy Queen. I want a Blizzard.
So they got that man a Blizzard?
They did. They bought him a Blizzard and a hamburger, delivered the food to his car using a tactical robot. Then he gave up and was arrested. He's being held on $250,000 bond, faces felony arson and looting charges.
I mean, the truth is he's not going to get a Blizzard for a while, so good for him.
Look, I'm screwed. I'm caught. I might as well ask for, give me one of those Blizzards. Give me some Blizzard. That's it.
God, that's tough to say. If I was like in a standoff with the police and they're like, you can get one meal before you go to jail, I don't think it'd be a Dairy Queen Blizzard. And I like a Blizzard as much as the next person. But, you got to really think through that order.
That chocolate cherry love Blizzard that they only have a couple times a year. Oh, man, it's good. It's really good.
Never had it.
That's
up on your list.
It's called the Choco Cherry Love, I think, officially.
There's like a part of like, I'm not kidding. I Blizzard like maybe a week ago for the family. And I went to the store and my wife ordered one and like, I just kind of felt stupid ordering it. It was something about like, it's kind of like ordering like a bougie coffee where like when I have to start saying like 78 words in order to fire off the list, I'm like, this is exhausting. I don't want to say chocolate. It was like chocolate brownie extreme.
I've had that one, yeah.
You're like, I don't want to say all these words
That's not that
just
crazy.
to get this.
And the chocolate brownie extreme Blizzard.
Can I not? I think it was more complicated. Yeah, that's a lot of
Well, that's
stuff.
the size.
I just feel kind of stupid when I have to get to like more than 8 words to describe the single item.
A lot of people mentioning the new Superman Blizzard. I have not had that. I haven't had a Blizzard in a couple months, but I didn't know about the Superman Blizzard. What's in that? Like blueberries and cherry or something? What were we?
Is it still out? The Superman movies, like you can just stream that on HBO now.
Really? It had it featured a cake batter cookie dough flavor, sugar cookie dough, cake batter flavor, sprinkles blended in DQ soft serve.
Only
dyed blue to match the superhero suit.
Yeah, here's the only issue I have is that I have very few food rules overall. I'm open to eat a lot of foods.
Oh boy!
At 41 years old, I pretty much avoid all foods that are blue. Blue is not a natural color of food.
Okay.
Like if it's an M&M, we can get by. But if something's blue, it's
I'm
like
glad,
your mouth looks kind of stupid. It's like or it's cotton candy flavored. I'm just out on like blue foods.
I'm glad you're sticking to that, because those orange colored Doritos are real natural. Yeah, that you had those orange flavored, whatever nacho flavored. Those are natural.
I'm not claiming it to be a natural color. At least cheese is orange. What
That's
color?
not real cheese. Come on.
At least cheese
You're
is
saying
orange.
unless it's candy, you're staying away from it.
Yeah. Also, I think a lot of times it's more of a flavor profile thing. I would think traditionally. Because a lot of blue stuff is either like bubblegum or cotton candy.
I'm out on the bubblegum
like
flavor, yeah.
Flavors I'm not interested in. That's the problem. This one's just dyed blue, so it's probably fine. But then also, you know how this works, man? You're an adult. You're going to walk around and your tongue's just bright blue. It just feels so silly.
Yeah, Drew, do you like Blizzards?
I love Blizzards. My lips would be sore afterwards.
From eating a Blizzard? I don't think so, man. You're not supposed to. It's not that aggressive.
When's the last time you got a Blizzard, Drew?
2 or 3 weeks ago, probably.
Okay, I was about to say, what's everyone's go-to ice cream place on this show? I haven't discussed that much.
It's probably Dairy Queen, just because I like
One of the
Blizzards.
closer ones to my house. So
there's an Andy's right by me as well.
There's a Cold Stone right by us in Legends.
Yeah, there's an Andy's
nice.
right by me.
Man, I left Waldo, and right around the corner from our old house, they built an Andy's, and it used to be like a empty shopping center that used to have a liquor store in it the entire time, just like a dead parking lot. I was like, I'd have preferred that Andy's. That would have been much better. Come on, Andy's.
Yeah, they do
I
very
just
well.
needed to get there a
Place
couple
is
years
always
earlier.
busy. The line is crazy.
Slammed. Always slammed. I mix it up.
What?
This text is making me laugh.
What is it?
Cody doesn't like Blue Chew? Come on, Cody. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days. Be ready when she is.
My glory
Give her group text something to text
That's
about, right, Drew?
Give her group chat something to talk about,
That's
because
right,
nothing
that's the
makes you
line,
more of
yeah.
a legend than a little Blue Chew.
Up next, we'll get to the Cheese Spread half hour. Talk about production of players once Rice is back.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Score big savings with Hy-Vee and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big points mean even bigger savings. Just shop Hy-Vee the day after a game and earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score and based on the amount you spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, you save 42 cents a gallon with any $42 purchase. The more we score, the more you save. Win or lose, everyone scores the day after a Chiefs game only at Hy-Vee. Offer good in-store and online. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
I love going to Hy-Vee, but I've got 2 kids in high school and life is busy. That's why I love the convenience of ordering my groceries with Hy-Vee's Aisles Online. It's easy. Just download the app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Then choose your store, select your items, and Hy-Vee will do all the shopping. All you have to do is pick up your order or have it delivered to you. Try it today. New customers get $10 off your first Aisles Online purchase with the code. Save time, save money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months.
0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hello, Kansas City. Christopher Youngers here with Cafe Trio. The seasons, they are changing. And if you haven't seen Cafe Trio during the holidays, from Halloween, the Plaza Lights, and Christmas with all of our decorations, well, then you've missed out on one of the most seasonally spectacular dining experiences in town. Offering live music, very spirited holiday decorations, and farm-to-table fresh menus, Cafe Trio is the place to be for the holidays. 45th and Main, CafeTrioKC.com.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152. This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Whether we're talking about it on the show or whatever the case is, you should be more confident where it counts because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Just like the athletes that we love to watch and root for on Sunday, you should be ready when it matters most. I'm talking about Blue Chew, a small chew for a big difference. You'll have flashbacks to your glory days, and Dana, it's just got longer and better for everyone. And it's not just about performance either. Give her group chat something to talk about because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. They're licensed medical providers. They work with you to find the right ingredient for your prescription. And if you don't like swallowing pills, that's no problem because Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Or just cover $5 for shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
When comfort's on the line, Anthony shows up. Same day, 24/7, even weekends and holidays. For a limited time, tankless water heaters starting at $88 per month. Schedule your complimentary proposal today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
Coming up in about 8 minutes, we'll get back into the AFC. Buffalo losing their second in a row in a number one seed conversation, admittedly, that is now wide open. The Bills are still the favorites in betting markets to be the number one seed, but we'll discuss that and narrow it down if we can to 4 teams maybe that actually have a real path to getting the number one seed, Kansas City included. We'll give you the list of things that I think have to happen for them to realistically get there, but it's more open than it ever has been after the Bills dropped their second game in a row. You guys can interact with us on the Jay's Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. So Rashee Rice is back. He will be allowed to practice this week. So starting tomorrow, you'll get him back.
He's been in the facility a little.
He just can't practice until this week. And he will be on the field on Sunday. Now, Andy Reid yesterday didn't have an idea yet on how much he's going to play. I told you I think he's going to be pretty darn close to a full go. I understand game shape is a little bit different, but we'll see. Who do you think has the biggest dip in production and playing time? Because right now you just look at the season-long stats, and remember, Xavier Worthy, of course, missed a couple games.
They are incredibly balanced right now.
Travis Kelce is the leading receiver at 321. Hollywood Brown sit at 302 yards. Tyquan Thornton, 272. And I'm just going off of yardage for the sake of the conversation. Juju, 225. Worthy, $145. And then it's a bunch of running backs, right? Brashard Smith, Kareem Hunt, 80, 55. Noah Gray, 47. Pacheco, 46. And even Nico Remigio in there with a 21-yard catch as well.
They're the only team in the NFL with 4 players over 225 yards, by the way.
This is the whole EGE thing.
Yep. Everybody got to eat.
This is
Somebody's not going to eat once Rice comes back.
So yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Who's starving?
That's correct. So is EGE really something you can keep with when Rashee Rice comes back? Because somebody's going to see the field less. I think before the season started, I would have said, easy. Juju Smith-Schuster is just going to go away. He's playing very well. He's also someone they trust in blocking out of the wide receiver position. So I'm trying to figure out, he's going to have a decrease, but at the same time, is it going to be as much as we thought? I mean, we already saw Tyquan Thornton snaps go down when Worthy came back. Now, different type of receiver. Rice and Juju are similar body style in terms of they're going across the middle routes, and similar routes.
Kelce runs some similar routes.
And so does Kelce. So it's a good problem to have. I think we'll see a decrease in Juju's snaps, but I wonder to what extent.
So I do think Juju will have less, but I think from a production standpoint, There's two guys who I think it will impact, one in the short term and one in the long term. The short-term answer for me is Xavier Worthy. I heard Dana Hughes this morning saying he's looking out there like he's 70%. Great. Now you get to baby the injury. Now you're going to try to get to a bye week.
Get that ankle healthy.
Making sure that ankle's good. Making sure you're squared away for the second half. So whose numbers are going to go down for the next few weeks? Xavier Worthy's. His touches are going to go down. His looks are going to go down. And they're going to protect him and protect the injury for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, this was Dana on Fesco and Dusty talking about the versatility that they have now at these weapons.
I'm thinking off the top of my head, I don't think there's another offense in the NFL where every receiver is a part of every type of package that you run. Reverses, passes, bubble screens, across the middle plays, jet sweeps, shovel passes, everything that you have in your arsenal, all three of our top receivers can do. And now we're bringing Rashee Rice back where what we've been leaning on Juju Smith-Schuster to do, the in-traffic plays, move the chains. Now we got another guy that's coming in that's going to be able to do that again. So, how do you game plan against this offense with all these weapons? Not because they're just weapons, but because they're all versatile and all can do the same thing. And add that kind of component to this offense.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, when you think about it, trying to prepare against these guys.
So that was Dana Hughes this morning.
The answer is, so I think him in the short run is the answer. And I think they'll protect him, Gold, and they'll do all of that other stuff. Great. In the long run, I think it's Hollywood Brown. Travis, history tells you he's going to get his. Plus, we'll talk more about him tomorrow. His yards per catch are up, his success rate, his route per success.
I do think they're going to try to keep him fresh, though. So that'll be something. It might be a little bit of, kind of what Dana's alluding to, though. I think you could have on a weekly basis, all of a sudden, it's not something that across the board every week is going to be the same. I think one week you could see, for whatever reason, the targets are down for Travis Kelce, and then they're back up. It's going to be game plan dependent, but they're in a great spot. They're in a really, really good spot. Now, we went from being like, oh my gosh, they're never going to have any of these guys on the field to now, well, how do they get everybody work? This is a great, great opportunity for Kansas City. And yeah, good luck defending them if you're the Raiders on Sunday and you're trying to figure out, especially this week in particular on Sunday, because the Raiders, you have no film of how the Chiefs operate with Worthy, Rice, Brown, and Hollywood. Same person.
Yeah.
You have no idea how that looks if you're the Raiders.
I know. And I don't think, but I still think they're going to feed certain players. In reality, someone's production is going to go down. Hollywood's just a logical one to me because I don't think they're at the end of the year, they're going to have 5 guys finish with more than 650 or 700 yards. Offenses don't finish that way. Right now, what's Hollywood on pace for? He's got a little over 300 yards.
306 games.
Which I'll say, which is a lot more than so that's 50 yards a game. Do we really think Hollywood's finished with 850?
No.
Do I think that Travis will finish with 850? Yeah, that seems in the range.
I don't think he's going to finish at, what is he based for now, 970?
Well, and some of it is Worthy was already going to tick some of that away for people and did for Thornton as soon as he got back. Thornton didn't get nearly the targets. Thornton's just going to get 1 or 2 targets a game. His production was already starting to slide with the addition of Worthy back. Okay, so we know Thornton's role. That's why I'm saying it's Hollywood. Hollywood has been a surprisingly good third down option for them. Juju's been a surprisingly good third down option. If you're going to make me guess, Gold, which of those two guys loses time to Rice first, I still think it's Hollywood. Juju's just a trusted guy.
I think they really like him. Now, it is true that Juju just does a lot of the same things. So that's the only tricky part, but I do believe they really like him in rundown. Someone says, hey, maybe Noah Gray snaps go down. Other than this past week, they already were way down. I don't think it's much of a... This past week, he had his best game of the season, but if you look at his snaps and his production, he hadn't done really much the first 5 weeks. This past week was really nice to see a little bit. So I don't know if you're saying his snaps are going to go down. They're already pretty low. I mean,
not much room for Rice's.
We're talking about. It's not like one of these other guys you're talking about going from, let's call it 40, 35 snaps a game. That could get down to 15 or 20. Noah Gray, I don't know what the exact snap count was on average the first 5 weeks, but maybe you were talking about 25 snaps or 20 snaps at max. I just don't have those numbers in front of me, unfortunately. But
I'll say that they're going to have to live by that motto that they've been shouting each other, EGE. They're going to have to live by it. That is going to have to be a very real part of what they do, not just something they say in a little fun, we're in the locker room. And by all accounts, by the way, they are very much all all on board with it and are talking about it like they're all on board with it. So, like, it's going to have to last that way. And I don't think they're just going to throw Rashee Rice in for 85% snaps right away, right? I don't think it's going to go down like that.
I think he's going to have a big week one for him, week one at least.
Noah Gray snaps by, just to wrap up that conversation. Here he is by game. Boy, it varies wildly a little. 41, 65, 68%, 56 against Baltimore, and Jacksonville, 75%.
Yeah, this was the most snaps
against Detroit. But obviously, that's something they saw on paper. They wanted to, and they ran the ball very effectively and under center. Another thing that they're doing more of against Detroit.
Someone says, please, I don't want to see Noah Gray trying to block Max Crosby. It's
Look, I don't know what the hell happened on that snap.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
And I don't feel bad. Noah Gray did, I mean, what are you going to do? That's just a snap. You're going to lose.
It's a bad spot to be in. Just a bad spot to be in. All right, let's talk about the number one seed. We started the show with this because I felt like the Bills were going to run away with the number one seed. Their schedule,
we've been saying it for about a month.
The schedule set up really nicely for them. The division is weak, all of that. And now we sit here after they lose 2 in a row and watching, more importantly, how they're playing and a defense that has been exposed, a defense that anybody can run all over you. We discussed Atlanta was going to have a ton of success against him with Bijan, and they did. And it was a really impressive win for Atlanta. Buffalo is exploitable, and they are not some juggernaut. And so with that said, the number one seed conversation is very much open. Now, they still have the best odds to be the one seed, and I still think they have a great schedule to get there, but they got flaws. They got some major flaws. And so you think about how many teams, Cody, are in the mix for the one seed. You've got a 5-win team in Indianapolis. You've got a 4-2 Patriots, a 4-2 Bills, a 4-2 Broncos, a 4-2 Chargers team, and of course a 3-3 Chiefs team. Oh, and I forgot Pittsburgh, 4-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. So I think if we're being real, I would eliminate a couple of those teams just based on what I think they are as a team. But there's 4 teams that I can make a case for that have a path. I still, if I had a bet on who it would be, I would still put my money on Buffalo. Kansas City is tough for me to bet on because I think Kansas City at this point for the one seed. They could do it, but here's what I think they have to do. They have to win at Buffalo because you need a tiebreaker.
Win at least one Denver, maybe 2.
Got to win against the Chargers in the rematch so you don't get completely screwed on the tiebreaker if it comes down to them, although I don't know if it will the way the Chargers are set up. Split at minimum with the Broncos, as you were saying. And then I think they have to win against Indy. And it's because of the tiebreakers coming to play where now I don't think 14 wins is going to be the number you have to get to for the one seed. I think you might get to 13 or 12 and you got to have the tiebreaker.
And the tiebreaker is conference record. The Chiefs are still, in my opinion, behind several teams for the best odds. They should be behind multiple teams for the best odds. They're 1-2 in the conference. That Jags loss is a huge swing in the number one seed department. Forget the games that they're getting ready to play. That one really hurt. They went to 1-2. The Colts are 4-0 in the conference. The Steelers are 3-0 in the conference and playing a weak division, so their conference record likely to improve. The Chargers are 4-0 in the conference. Their losses are both on the NFC side. I think it's 5 teams. I think the number one seed, which is a lot, by the way, after week 6. Normally, I would say I'd have it narrowed down to 1, 2, or 3 teams. I still think 6 teams are at play for the one seed. Colts, Steelers, Chargers, Bills, Chiefs. I think that the Chargers I'm only including because of their conference record and presuming they eventually get their current left tackle back on the team and Amari Hampton comes back in a couple of weeks, maybe they can stave off issues. Now, look, they are fighting for their lives in every game right now, and the Colts schedule's easier. Although it gets hard at some stretch, the Steelers' schedule is about as easy as it gets. The Chargers, here's their next few games. This is what will determine if they deserve to be a part of it. Vikings on the road, and I think that one's... Oh, that's not the overseas one.
Vikings are done internationally. They already played 2. They're done.
Vikings
now.
At home. Titans on the road. Titans, who cares? Steelers at home. That one matters a lot for the one seed. Jags on the road. These next 4 games are going to decide whether they're a serious team for the one seed. Their schedule's not easy, and they got major injury issues. But because they're 3-0 in the conference, or 4-0 in the conference, and 4-2 overall, I have to include them in the conversation. I'd probably rank them least likely at 5th, but I think they deserve to be a part of it.
Here's where the betting markets are at least, if you're wondering. So the Bills are 3-1. They have the best odds to still be the one seed, even though they're not looking good. They're still a 4-win team right now and still have an easy schedule. The Colts plus 320. The Colts are already sitting there with 5 wins. Chargers 6-1. then the Steelers 6.5 to 1, then the Chiefs at 8 to 1, followed by the Broncos at 9.5 to 1, Patriots at 10 to 1, and the Jags at 14 to 1. Patriots are looking good. I still don't think they can get to the 1 seed. I know they have the same record and the tiebreaker over Buffalo right now. So you're saying, what do you mean they can't? I still think Josh Allen, let's not act like Josh Allen still isn't going to be able to pull off some wins here, even with the defensive struggles. So last night they weren't able to.
The way I view, and it's tough because I told you last week, that was the all 32, is that I thought the Patriots have a real chance to win the division. I'd only put it at 20%, but that's a lot better than I thought, Gold. They would have to do it at any other point this year. So I thought 20% chance. After last night's Bills loss, am I at 50%? No, I'm at like 25 or 30%. The Patriots' odds increased, in my opinion, to win the division. But in the end, it takes more than just you have the lead on the team that has owned the division for almost a decade. And not quite that much.
The odds,
but their divisional streak's close to the Chiefs at this point.
Yeah, the odds, by the way, would tell you the Chiefs have an 11% chance right now to get the number 1 seed.
Okay. I mean, that
because of the path. Like, as we say, they have
really
to
difficult schedule. Got to get hot.
Got to get the Chargers. Got to split with the Broncos. Got to beat the Colts. Got to beat the Bills. So that way you don't worry about the tiebreakers, and then you can worry about the wins at the end.
They still got 2 teams ahead of them in the division.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to put them as the favorite to be the number 1 seed until at least they do that. The one thing I'll say about the Patriots, and the reason why I'll cool it on them a little bit, the Bills win is good. I'm not denying the Bills win.
Drake
it's a good
May
win.
Looks awesome.
It is a good win. Their other wins are the Saints and the Panthers, and the Dolphins. So, give me a little bit more juice here before.
They have the Titans on Sunday.
I know. And then the Browns after that.
Yeah.
So, all I'm saying is, give me a little bit of juice before I'm like, yeah, they're getting ready to rip off. They've got the Giants, Bengals, and Jets, too. They got a great schedule.
They have the easiest schedule in football. We went over this last Friday, I think it was, the strength of schedule. Yes, the Bills' schedule is easy. The Patriots is even easier.
And that was when the Chiefs were included as like an easy team for most teams. Now the Chiefs are at least 3-3, so they're not going to get listed as easiest opponents remaining. Based on that same list, by the way, the Patriots still have the easiest schedule remaining. Yeah. The Jets twice, the Titans, the Browns, Dolphins, Ravens, and Bengals. And who knows which version of the Ravens they'll get. The Bengals, by the way, have the second easiest schedule. Kansas City, because their opponents have toughened up a little bit, are up to 17th in there. And this matters for the teams that are up for the 1 seed. Here are the teams. We said the Chargers, they have the 9th hardest remaining schedule. The Colts, 5th hardest remaining schedule of the teams that we had mentioned. Bills are still down the list at 25th. Is there anybody else we're missing? And then, the Chiefs. So
Pittsburgh,
27th. And Pittsburgh, 27th. So, there are teams with an easier path and a better record and a better conference record than Kansas City. If they got any chance at the 1 seed, but here's the thing. Gold, if you're telling me right now, some of the teams that have the best chance to get the 1 seed are the Colts or the Steelers?
Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Jones. Just say it out loud. I don't care how well they're playing this year. Still, that's a path you will take in a heartbeat.
If you're telling me that they got to go on the road for the AFC Championship game, they're not the number 1 seed. They got to go on the road against the 2. And the teams that they got to go on the road against are Daniel Jones and Aaron Rodgers at 49 years old or whatever great. Fine. Sold. Sign me up. That sounds like a dream scenario for the Chiefs if they have to go on the road for an AFC Championship game. It's not, or the Patriots or Drake May. If you're telling me that Patrick Mahomes' path to the Super Bowl this year is to go to New England against Drake May in the AFC title game, sign me up now. I'll sign up right now.
I do think now all this is going to be dependent on how these teams are looking at the end of the year. But to me, you do really want to avoid being the if let's say you want to avoid being the 4th seed. The number, I know you get the home game, but to me the 5 seed this year, if somehow the Bills fall apart and they're not win the division, and you don't want the Bills coming to your place in a wild card round. If the Patriots are the 5 seed, I don't know if you're feeling great about the Patriots as a 5 seed coming to your place if you're the 4 seed. So I think, either want the Chiefs being the 5 seed if they don't win the division, or I want them being 1, 2, or 3. I don't want the Chiefs being the 4 seed division winner, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't like that spot at all.
Pretty funny. Over on Twitch, Cash says, easy there on Aaron. Give him some respect. He's not much older than you, Cody. I looked it up. We're the same age.
You and Rodgers, same age.
He's got a birthday this year, so we're about a year apart. Isn't it crazy? You know me, and you've watched Aaron Rodgers play his entire career. Doesn't he feel way older than me?
Well, sure.
We are the same age.
Yeah.
But he feels 15 years older than me in my head. We're the same age? Me and Aaron Rodgers? Oh,
Text line says because he doesn't dye his hair.
I'm not dyeing my hair. It's crazy.
It is dark. It is dark. It looks really dark.
He does young man stuff. He's out here trying ayahuasca.
Maybe that's what you need.
Ayahuasca?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
they don't drug test
on
at my job. It's not like they're going to be like.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
The content that you could come back with would be amazing from your experience.
Yeah, you would have some stories, some things. You'd be like,
am I allowed to talk about that on the air? What are the rules on that?
What do you mean?
Am I allowed to talk about my personal experiences on an ayahuasca journey if I go to a yurt and take drugs?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are on that.
Absolutely. It's content. Yeah. Content rules all.
The stories, man, would be pretty awesome, I would expect.
Someone says, don't you have a birthday this year too, Cody? You said he had his birthday this year. I mean, remaining in the calendar year. His birthday is December 2nd. He still will have a birthday. He'll turn 42 this year.
That is a fair point. Yes. Cody doesn't have a birthday at all this year,
You
actually.
know what I meant.
He stops
This is
counting.
speaking
He's stopping counting
right.
at this point.
That's right.
I don't care.
No more counting.
As you know on this show, the age part has never bothered me. I just felt like Aaron Rodgers feels old. He also looks like just football's beating him up a little bit, you know? He seems crankier as a person. Good old Aaron Rodgers, man. Both 41 years old.
Someone says,
I'm 41, right?
Cody, are you slowly dyeing your hair for the Halloween costume? Are you planning something?
No, don't have any plans for the Halloween costume. I really got to schedule this haircut. I've just been slacking. Because I want to make a determination
I need a
on whether or
haircut
not
as well.
it looks darker.
Yeah, you've
because
been
it's
wearing the
long.
hats, I can tell, recently, you know?
I haven't had a haircut in, I think, 6 weeks, which is a long time for me. Normally I get it every month.
What's taking so long?
I have no idea. I think it's pure laziness, honestly.
Fair
Sometimes that happens. We're
Someone-
like, I don't want to schedule.
For the 816, Old Man Rogers would smoke you in a hot dog race. That would be fun.
yeah.
See,
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
He's a professional athlete.
Yes.
He'd kill me.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even want to
not
know.
even-
This. I mean, he would kill me in the hot dog race.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers hasn't run a 40 in years, so I have no idea what his time would be, but he would, yes.
I don't have any idea. At the combine, it was 4.71 seconds. So imagine. The last time I ran a 40-yard dash on this station.
For context, Tom Brady ran a 5.17.
Yeah, and years ago, probably
people
like,
thought he was slow as, you know.
Yeah, what's the last time we did a 40 in this station? It was like 5, 6 years, 7 years ago. I don't remember the time frame of it.
Probably 5 years ago.
5 years ago,
Yeah.
and I ran like a 5.
I think 4.5.
It was like 5.
2? 5.
It was like 5.3, something.
Whatever,
So
yeah.
slower than him then. So like, yeah, I'm not. Aaron Rodgers would beat me in a 40. I don't think it'd be particularly close. He'd beat me in a 40 in a hot dog race. He'd beat me in any race imaginable.
Someone said, would you guys trade 2 first-round picks for a kicker that was guaranteed to not miss a single kick within 50 yards for the next 3 years?
2 firsts? Absolutely
no,
not.
You can't give up 2 first-round picks.
Wait, it's a guarantee?
For never miss a kick
guarantee
for
that
3
they make
years. Never miss a kick within 50 yards. So it's not even guaranteeing the 59 yarders. It's only guaranteeing me the ones inside 50.
If you guarantee me everyone inside 60, I'd take it.
For
inside
2 first-round
50,
picks?
no.
Yeah. Do you guys not realize the advantage of having a kicker that makes 100% of the
I wouldn't
kicks?
give up 2 first-round picks.
And the Chiefs are in
No,
tight
in this exact
playoff games.
In this exact scenario,
Said inside 60.
the text said inside 50. No.
If
no,
it was-
no.
even if it was
inside
60.
50, I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks. Inside 60 would be tempting, Drew, because there is hitting 58 yards every single time and not having to worry
They
about
get to
it.
the 50-yard line.
I
It's
would
like
give up-
guaranteed.
I'd give up 1. I don't know about 2.
45, yeah. I'd give up 2. I mean, it's the Chiefs. It's pick 32, most years. They got their starting left tackle, so I don't have to look for that in the first round anymore.
Yeah.
So, like those kind of things, I'd probably consider it. Every kick. Like, I don't think you realize how many games people lose because of kickers. Like, every kick.
How about Moody last night for the Bears? He got fired by the Niners earlier in the year. And
they've got a kicker that's making 100% of their kicks.
Yeah. all of them
and
that
then
weren't blocked.
Cairo Santos is hurt, so Jake Moody's in there, and he makes 4 field goals last night and kicks the game winner.
Had that one block that was kind of awkward, but yeah, he did his job, man.
But no, 2 first-round picks inside 50, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, up next, guys. We will get to what's trending here on Cody and Gold, and we'll get back into the MVP conversation. Not only are the Chiefs now co-favorites to win the Super Bowl at a couple books, Patrick Mahomes is the favorite to win the MVP. We'll do that, plus all 32 next.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Trey Smith. You're listening to Cody and Gold weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Looking for a taste of the coast right here in Kansas City? Every Tuesday at Pearl Tavern, you can dive into $2.50 tacos and shrimp tacos and sip on $5 house margaritas made with premium Jose Cuervo Tradicional Silver Tequila from 3 p.m. to close in the bar area. It's Taco Tuesday, seafood style. So cast your weekend stress aside and let Pearl Tavern tide you over until the weekend. Pearl Tavern, your local fresh seafood spot in Lee Summit.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That's our philosophy at GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. Fat ones, skinny ones, curvy ones, fast ones, slow ones, round ones, and square ones. Yes, square body Chevys. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now, put yours in, and get a quote. We'd love to buy it. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
Every day, people in pain are taking control of their health and looking beyond traditional medicine. And that's exactly why QC Kinetics is helping so many people right now. If you're dealing with chronic joint pain, listen up. There are real options beyond steroids, surgeries, and meds. At QC Kinetics, patients are getting lasting relief using cutting-edge regenerative treatments that work at the cellular level. We're talking about revitalizing your joints using growth factors from your own body. It's simple. There's no hospital stays, no surgery, and no downtime. So if your knees, back, or shoulders hurt all the time, don't settle. Be smart. Don't let anyone tell you that surgery is your only choice. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation and exercise your freedom to look beyond the same old solutions. Thousands of people across the country are already living better thanks to QC Kinetics. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Saturday appointments available off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Hey, it's Creed Humphrey. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Of course, What's Trending is brought to you by Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly's certified techs have delivered complete care and top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit tellytire.com today.
Well, number one on What's Trending, the Bills drop their second game in a row to the Atlanta Falcons. This time around on Monday Night Football, the Bills sitting at 4-2. They're technically in second place in the AFC East due to a tiebreaker.
First time in a long time.
With the New England Patriots. Yeah, it's been a bit since the Patriots were atop that division. Also, the Commanders lost on a last-second field goal to the Chicago Bears. That's because Jaden Daniels had a key fumble as they were driving, set up a short field for Caleb Williams and company. The Bears improved to 3-2 on the season. Their wide receiver, though, DJ Moore, did stay behind in the D.C. area as he was transported to a hospital after the game. I haven't seen an update on him.
Said it was precautionary.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a good sign. Also, the Commanders lost to the Bears last night. Bears, Caleb Williams getting the better of Jaden Daniels in their matchup. I was like, Jaden Daniels, I mean, the injury stuff coupled with, like, good play, but not like the kind of play they were getting from him last year. The sophomore stuff, we just want to ignore it. No matter how good a guy is in their rookie year, sophomore slumps can get anybody, and I think it's important to note that that's the case. Next up on What's Trending, still no update on Josh Simmons and his availability for Sunday's game. Nate Taylor will join us coming up at 1 o'clock. I was scouring, looking through, seeing if any NFL Insider guys had anything. Nothing on whether or not, when, and if he will be available for Sunday. Obviously, he missed this Sunday's game on what appeared to be last-minute notice to the team, at least according to some reports. Hopefully, Nate Taylor's maybe got a little more insight for us on at 1 o'clock, but I'll say crickets. Andy Reid talks tomorrow at 11:45, so I'm sure he'll get asked about it again, but he's been pretty sour about it Sunday and Monday, so we'll see.
It's not so much what is it, it's that
will he be available?
Will he be available? It's a very fair question at this point in time. Elsewhere, and What's Trending, the Dodgers get game one, a crazy game against the Milwaukee Brewers that had one of the more bizarre double plays you will ever see, and maybe one of the more memorable double plays in postseason history, in recent history as well. It looked like it was about to be a grand slam for the Dodgers. It goes from that to a ball off the glove of Frelick, the center fielder for the Brewers. They end up getting the force out at home, and then Contreras, the catcher, then walks over to the third and gets another force out there. It was a bizarre sequence last night. So Dodgers take care of that. Meanwhile, the Mariners are up 2-0. They get 2 road wins to open the series.
Heavy favorites to go to the World Series now.
Yep.
Obviously, Polanco's been incredible for them in the entire postseason run, and that continues. I still can't believe a baseball game went down as a 404-foot double ground into double play is how that game is officially scored, which makes no sense. Baseball's been fun overall. I mentioned it yesterday, Gold, so I'll bring it up again. The AP Top 25 women's college basketball is out. UConn. What? No way. UConn is not unanimous. South Carolina got 4 votes. UConn, the number 1 rated preseason team for women's college basketball. None of the locals in the top 25.
I wonder if K-State was getting any votes, because K-State's been good.
Not sure.
Over the last couple of years.
Sure.
They have, but they also, that was with a star player who obviously suffered through some injuries.
K-State got votes. KU also got votes.
There you go.
But neither made it.
Correct.
To top 25.
Lastly, on What's Trending, and we can probably talk about this more. I got an email this morning. We get these PR emails randomly. Some of them you just delete right away. Others you chuckle at. That'd be this one. We all know what happened with Brian Branch and Juju Smith-Schuster on Sunday Night Football. The Action Network released a PR study today. Study, air quotes. Quote, study shows, and our data shows, the Chiefs rank as 7th most childish team in the league. What? That's a real thing. It's a real thing. They're just trying to get clicks and attention. Kansas City Chiefs ranked 7th in NFL for childish behavior, slightly more composed than Detroit. It goes on to say that the 2025 NFL Childness Index places the Chiefs 7th, the Lions 6th, tracking emotional volatility through fines, taunting penalties, and fan behavior. Kansas City's 50.8 score and single taunting calls show a team that thrives on energy but channels it more effectively than its rivals. The 10 most childish teams: number 1, Houston; number 2, Minnesota; number 3, Denver; number 4, Atlanta; number 5, Seattle; number 6, Detroit; number 7, Kansas City; 8, Arizona; 9, Dallas; and 10, the Baltimore Ravens.
Can I ask, as a part of this study, who's tracking this?
Yeah, so they said,
who's spotting in the crowd for this supposed childish behavior? Or is this just like what they see on social media?
So they are using some actual data, they say.
Some actual data.
Fines.
The rest is just made up.
They went up fine data, like dollar amount, taunting penalties, average roster age. What I don't get is how they got the fan behavior score of an 86.2 out of 100. It says fan behavior score indicates passion without chaos.
If we're talking about fan behavior, the Bills might have the worst.
What? I mean, chaos are lighting tables on fire and
They're
jumping on
throwing
things.
snowballs and bottles of water on the field. They're shoving players.
If Lance Leipold had a vote, he'd complain about Texas Tech and tortillas.
Yeah, well,
if there was a college
there was
football
a pocket
one.
knife as well. But yeah, this normally we just ignore some of these emails. This one was too good not to at least bring up for a few minutes.
7 most childish.
A real thing, a in their mind. Yeah, this was a real study that they conducted.
I do think, I think some of this is coming back to, I was not prepared for the amount of refs tweets as it relates to the Chiefs.
It's back, man.
I genuinely think this show probably needs to go ahead and create a little segment where we go over the top 5 ref
Worst calls or
tweets.
something?
No, ref tweets as it relates to the Chiefs, and have a good little chuckle over some of the ones that have been taking place over the last few, because it has gotten out of control.
Yeah, it's back to where it's back to where it was a year or so ago. I mean, I won't have to rehash it. Yesterday, I told you it's all a good sign if people are fearful of the Chiefs again. Last year, we brought up, what do we bring up, Cody? Maybe we need to get shirts made this time around. We brought up CDS. We brought up last year CDS.
I don't know if that's related to the refs.
Oh,
but it's
absolutely.
insane.
Chiefs derangement syndrome. It existed last year, and then it went away in the offseason. The team just stunk, and the dynasty's over, and they're not relevant anymore. That's what we were told. And then the first 2 weeks of the season, CDS didn't exist. It only comes around in the wintertime, I guess. Now the weather's starting to turn a little bit, and it's back. People have CDS shots, whatever it is.
I mean,
I do
it's
think
a problem.
there is a shirt idea that could sell well. Something on the lines of, it's not the refs, we're just good, or the Chiefs are just good,
or we just own it. Like
a
couple of weeks ago, I had said, and maybe this is just our stance, we'll just own it. Rather than we'll disarm you. That's the way you handle like bullies or anything else in this world. And instead you say, if your team was any good, then the refs would like you too. You should actually try being good at football, and then maybe they'd make calls your way. It's not my fault your team stinks and you can't win games. If your team was consistently good at winning football games, they would also give you the calls. You've made your own bed, and instead you're a stinky franchise the refs don't care about. And if your team mattered at all, you would also get the benefit of it.
I just get
There was a
annoyed.
study that claimed the Tom Brady Patriots didn't have this effect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are we just living in a delusion?
I just get annoyed with, this social media can be a great thing. It can also be a disaster, as we all know. And everybody can tweet whatever the hell they want. That's fine. But just the air, the oxygen we unfortunately give to conspiracy theories is absolutely absurd. And this is another example of that. But
somebody asked where our show ranks amongst childish media for midday
in the
shows.
country.
Tough to say. We know where we rank in handsomeness. We've covered that. We know where we rank in just people liking the show. And childish. I don't know for the most childish.
Oh, let's say if there was 50, if there are 50 shows, if there's 50 shows, we're not inside. Trust me, there's other shows we're not inside the top 5. I can promise you. Trust me.
Nah,
I think we're in the
15.
top 20. Yeah, I'm gonna say top 20 of that. Yeah.
We're a respectable ranking in childish meters. I mean, we did play that clip of Drew saying his lips were going to be tired already like 3 times today. But in fairness, I didn't make him say that.
They would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have our moments for sure. I think I think we strike a good balance. Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not zero childish moments. But I mean, if you listen to other midday shows, we're certainly not there. We're not at the highest end of this.
I mean, what would be the what? I mean, the fact that we're above board now. I think if you just look at the past, I wonder how much of that plays a factor into it.
I will say though, in the last 2 weeks, this show had a fart sound effect that we played 80 times in a single show. So
80.
I
don't know. I don't know about that.
We did play it a lot, and we laugh every time.
I don't think so. I don't. We're not childish at all. No.
That's not helping our case to not be. We might be top 10.
You know what the article was that you just referenced?
Yeah,
that fart noise.
All right,
that's what that was.
We'll get to all 32. We'll get to all 32 in just a couple of minutes. But there is a new favorite for the MVP in the NFL heading into Week 7. That is one Patrick Mahomes, and I think that caught some people off guard as well. But I mean, if you take
it happened before the end of the Bills
by
game.
halftime of the Bills game.
They didn't even wait until the Bills had actually lost the football game. They just saw them down 21-7 and said, yeah, I think we're good here.
So Mahomes is first in total yards, first in total touchdowns because he's running the ball a lot more than he ever has, and that is helping his case as well. He's second in the NFL in touchdown to turnover differential. He's got his best passer ratings for him since 2022, his deepest air yard per attempt since 2018. These are all things that point in that direction. And, the offense, everybody, even the haters, agree that the offense is trending in an unbelievable direction. Or it looks like they're about to be high flying and a problem for everybody again. So he should be right up there. I also have no issue if you want to make the case right now heading into Week 7 that Baker Mayfield would win MVP if the vote was today. I would vote for Baker Mayfield right this second.
If we gave MVP through 6 weeks.
Correct. Sure. But the reason why he's not the favorite currently is also this is a season-long award, and the thought is that Patrick Mahomes eventually might be the division leader, that the numbers are getting even more crazy. Baker Mayfield right now is doing unbelievable things, overcoming not having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Egbuka and Bucky Irving, which is nuts. At some point, does that come back to bite him in the butt and cause some problems for them? It hasn't yet, so he should be right up there with you. If you're Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, those should be the two at the top. Josh Allen's also not out of this conversation just because he's got the third best odds. But it is pretty telling that what a shift over the last 2 or 3 weeks. People are starting to realize Mahomes, the last 4 weeks, what he's been able to do statistically has been pretty crazy. I tweeted out yesterday his numbers. I think it's the last 4 weeks that I looked up. I'm trying to pull it up real quick. I'm sorry. 98 for 145. 1,069 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception in his last 4 games. And that one pick, of course, was that pick 6.
Yeah, and of course, one of those interceptions this year is off of Travis Kelce's hands that would have been a touchdown instead of an interception, but this goes to every year. Look, the only question I would have about Patrick Mahomes and the MVP as it sits right now is, I know Baker Mayfield's story. And you and I know that whether we like it or not, part of winning MVP is the story. The reason why Josh Allen won the MVP last year instead of Lamar Jackson was, 1, we're tired of giving it to Lamar Jackson. 2, this AFC East and all this run and the stuff that happened with Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield's story is no Evans, no Godwin, no Bucky, now no Egbuka, putting up stats, hitting Tez Johnson for touchdowns. Here's the story. What is the Mahomes story? And then I'll give you his pacing stats for 17 games, of which we think we're going to have to play all 17 this year. What is Patrick Mahomes' story? Is it just he's been boring the last 2 years and he's back? I think that might be the biggest argument is he's back. Look, here he comes. That's his MVP story. Because right now his pace is 4,290 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 629 rushing yards, and 11 rushing touchdowns. So 42 total touchdowns and 4,800 total yards. He's going to be hurt because MVP voters are not going to bother to look up his rushing touchdowns and his rushing yards. They will look it up for Allen, and they will look it up for Lamar Jackson.
If he keeps this up, though, people will. If he keeps this up, it will be because it'll become part of the. It's all about narrative, so it'll eventually become part of the narrative. If that's the case. I mean, somebody texted in and said Pat has dealt with the injuries as well for 3 years. Yeah, but that's the MVP. They're not factoring in what happened in 2023 and carrying that
Unless
over.
The he's back part, right?
The he's
just
back part,
back.
But. I think someone took issue with me saying that Baker's overcoming all these injuries, and he is. And they're saying, well, Pat did it 2 years ago. But Patrick Mahomes was not putting up those numbers. Sorry, in fairness, that's just not reality of what he was doing. So I have no issue. You literally just said it is a thing for Baker. What do you mean it's a thing for Baker? The injuries? Absolutely, it's a thing for Baker because it's happening this year. I don't know why. Like, what are we confused by on this?
He's putting up
Patrick
massive
Mahomes for a couple years did not have top receivers. We all agree. What happened in 2023 or 2024 does not mean he gets that narrative when that's not the narrative this year. Baker Mayfield is down 4 weapons and is putting up numbers. That's why it works this year. 3 years from now, Baker Mayfield doesn't get a cite 2025 injuries for 2028.
Can I give you Josh Allen's MVP numbers from last year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Josh Allen went 13, because winning matters in this. So in this presumption, the betting market is telling you they think the Chiefs is winning the AFC West. Josh Allen last year had 400 less receiving yards than Patrick Mahomes is currently pacing at. He had 2 less passing touchdowns, 3 less passing touchdowns.
Go back. Receiving yards, rushing yards.
Passing. Last year,
because you heard it.
Josh Allen had 3,731 passing yards last year.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is on pace for about 4,200, so 500 more. Last year, he had 28 passing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes on pace for 31. He had 6 interceptions. That's exactly what Patrick Mahomes is pacing for. On the rushing yard stats, which also matter, it mattered for Josh Allen last year, so should. He had, 531. Patrick Mahomes is pacing for more than that. And 12 rushing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes is pacing for 11. Patrick Mahomes is pacing for more rushing yards, similar number of rushing touchdowns, more passing yards, more passing touchdowns, and the same number of interceptions. He's on pace to out Josh Allen's MVP last year.
Yeah.
That's why he's the favorite.
Correct.
They're just banking on the fact that he'll eventually win his division.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
I also doubt the rushing numbers will continue on this trend all year. If the offense gets back to where we hope it gets, that won't continue.
But the passing yardage will be even higher.
Yeah.
He's on pace to finish with 600 more passing yards, too.
That's why a couple minutes ago, I think you said you don't think they're going to factor in the rushing. I would argue the fact that he is the favorite today, that has already been. Remember, the sports books are not flat out predicting the winner. That's not how the odds work. We've talked about this for years on the show. You guys know, it is about where they think the market is heading, where the money is coming in, and all that kind of stuff. It is not necessarily flat out predict. They are not currently just flat out predicting that he's necessarily the winner. Right? This is just where the money is heading and the market is trending, and that doesn't guarantee a win. But Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, the co-favorites at some spots. Patrick Mahomes, the outright favorite at a few other spots for MVP. Things are all back. People are conspiracy theory refs. Mahomes, the MVP favorite. The Chiefs are co-favorites for the Super Bowl. We're back. Everything's back. It's a great time.
I'm curious. If Mahomes and Baker Mayfield had the exact same stat line, Baker Mayfield's winning the MVP still, right?
Yes.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Because I think this goes into, I think it's hard to comp Mahomes' numbers with Josh Allen's numbers last year, because I know Josh Allen won the MVP, but it was a storyline.
But they comp to Lamar Jackson's. They comp to anybody's in the league.
Which is where I think the argument would be more of, if you compared him, I don't know what Lamar's numbers were last year, but if you could, I think that
5,000 total yards and 45 total touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes this year is on pace for 4,900 total yards, actually 5,000, pretty much the same number. And he's on pace for, based on the numbers I just gave you, 43 total touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's the comp, because I think, again, we can sit here and say, well, yeah, Mahomes is deserving of the MVP more than Baker Mayfield, but if they had literally the exact same stat line, then we know that the storyline would be, well, it's Baker, and which is, again, say what you will. I don't know what the odds would be in that sort of a situation, but if they had the exact same stats and both of them won the division, I don't know how the odds would line up with that, but we know that Baker would get it.
Don't forget, on Tuesdays, our lunch partner, our friends over at Pearl Tavern in Lee Summit. Real in a deal every Tuesday at Pearl Tavern in Lee Summit. $2.50 fish and shrimp tacos. $5 house margaritas made with that premium Jose Cuervo silver. All right, let's get to all 32. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow, I know, in depth, but good luck trying to figure out who the heck are the top 5 teams in the NFL. I think heading into Week 7 now, you could have 8 to 10 different versions of a top 5 list. And nobody can really, you can say, I would have had this team, but there's not many quote unquote wrong answers right now for a top 5 list. I tried to come up with mine a little bit. And I was like, okay, you have to include the Bucs in the top 5. I think they're a lock. I still think the Lions are a top 5 team. I understand they just got beat by Kansas City. We may not believe the Colts are going to the Super Bowl, but they're 5-1. I kind of have to have them in there. And then it's after that, the final 2 spots, I could throw in 6 other teams. I could put the Chiefs there. I could put the Eagles. I could put the Packers there. Somebody might want to put the Patriots there. Someone still might want to put the Bills.
There's part of me that doesn't want to include the Colts for the other teams.
I know, but to me, I'm just like, they're 5-1. And they're number one offense in football.
Yeah.
Like, now they are. So, first down percentage and all that. So, I just think this is a fascinating start to the NFL season and how wide open it appears to be at this point.
They also, the Colts, I think, have at least I would think a decent defense. I don't know exactly where it ranks, but I imagine it's somewhere in the top 15. It's probably not like it's fourth, actually. Jeez. Okay. It's a lot better than I thought. So, yeah, it'd be hard to argue against them, at least on that end. For me, I was looking across the NFL, and I can feel it. I can feel it deep in my soul. And I'm tired of the excuse of, well, this is just what NFL teams do. You don't have to. You can operate different in an effort to be a winning organization and a winning franchise. I'm going to tell you right now, Panthers, don't do it. Do not pay Bryce Young. They're 3-3. He has 10 passing touchdowns and 5 interceptions. What they're going to tell themselves is even worse now, because they're going to say, but if we let him go, he's going to turn into the next Sam Darnold, or he's going to turn into the next other guy who left town and found more success elsewhere. It's not for you. If it's going to work out, it's not going to be for you. And I understand letting him go and then looking stupid as he goes and has success somewhere else, like Daniel Jones or somebody else. You're going to talk yourself into it. Do not pay him. Do not pay him top quarterback money. Do not pay him $40 million a year, $50 million a year, whatever the hell it's going to cost in order to keep him there. It is not a fit. He is not good enough for you, and go search for the better fit for your organization. I can sense it already because they're at least mediocre this year. After their win against Dallas, they're 500. They're going to end up paying Bryce Young or picking up his fifth-year option and paying him a year from now. Do whatever you have to do to not pay Bryce Young. It's not going to work.
He's not playing bad, but I wonder if his...
That's what every team tells themselves before they give Daniel Jones $140 million.
I know, but I wonder if his, because even if Bryce gets paid, what does that even look like? Like, obviously, he's not getting top-tier money. Like, I don't know what...
But there's still a baseline. I mean, he's not going to get paid like a 20th best quarterback in football, even if you think that's what he is. He's going to get paid like a top 10 because that's just the rate of where the contracts are going. Bryce Young... It's weird when his wins are all come from behind victories for the most part, and they're all game-winning drives, which normally is viewed as a real positive thing. In his case, I feel people are like, well, he shouldn't even be in that position. So I do think he's unfairly criticized, but I am not all that impressed.
I mean, Geno Smith got $38 million a year. Bryce would probably get 40 at least. Maybe 50. Kyler got 40, 46.
50 million a year.
50 million a year. I'm telling you, teams tell themselves they can't do it. We have to. Oh, there's no choice. There are choices. There are choices. And some of this comes down to being the GM and trying not to lose your job. I get it. This is worth, because if you're going to lose the job anyway if you pay Bryce Young. So just take the risk that maybe you draft a better quarterback and fired a better one or whatever. Don't pay Bryce Young. That's all.
Said, Cody out here sounding like Dr. Seuss book. Yeah. Do not pay that man. Do not pay him. Sam I am.
Do not pay him with a boat. Do not pay him. He's not the GOAT. Whatever it is, just don't pay his ass.
So I'm wondering if you guys saw this. Mike Tomlin was asked about the Browns trading Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals, and he said, quote, Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a QB you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area, but that's my personal feeling.
Makes sense.
These are two teams with less than 5% to make the playoffs, though. This is a nothing trade.
I wonder if he's, I don't know, I don't think he's nervous at all, but I think the concept of, hey, here you go, Cincy, take our guy and have a chance at potentially making the playoffs. It comes across as a little bit goofy. I get it, but hey, the Browns are the Browns.
Well, you guys been annoying me today with some of that.
I think
Mike Thomas said you guys are annoying me today.
I think that this is him taking another subtle shot and people missed it. Oh, he must be a lot smarter than me, being like, that guy's an idiot. I think he's just straight up calling him an idiot. This deal, I do not understand. Mike Tomlin should not care about this deal other than he's annoyed that it gives the Bengals a slightly better chance to beat his team. Yeah. Because an in-division trade of a starting quarterback that they deemed good enough in the saddest sense of the word. They took Dylan Gabriel in the third, Sanders in the fifth, and have alleged? What am I allowed to say on Deshaun Watson? A horrible human being is their fourth quarterback. Like, yeah, I mean, sure, they chose him as their starter, but not because they liked their choices. Like, those teams had by the way, the metrics said, Drew, they had an 8% and 5% chance, respectively, to make the playoffs when they made the trade. It's a nothing trade. It's two bad teams trade.
I mean, in general, it is true. The guy that you thought was good enough to be your starter, though, you're willing to trade in season to someone in your division. That is a pretty crazy thing.
I mean, it's not like a long term. You're going nowhere, they're going nowhere. And even if they went somewhere,
but that's what we think. Like, this is the thing. That's what we think.
I know it's a fact the Bengals are going nowhere.
Because all of a sudden,
second,
if they
wait a
beat the
second.
Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday,
Drew, you're talking yourself
Wait
into
a
the Bengals
second, hold
again.
on. I was
We're
with
doing
you.
this with last year too, Drew.
I was with you until you said, well, they might be going somewhere, implying that you think Joe Flacco is taking Cincinnati somewhere.
I didn't. No. Everybody thinks that they're going nowhere, to Cody's point.
Right.
Like, everybody thinks that they're going nowhere.
Right. And the opposite of that is that they're going somewhere, and I'm saying they're not.
Drew has talked himself into the Bengals having a chance.
I'm saying that everybody agrees with what Cody just said.
Yes.
But what if that's not true, and actually the Browns traded the person to help a division rival make it to the
Who cares?
playoffs?
The Browns are going nowhere, and he's not going to be there starting next year, so who cares? Who cares? If the Bengals go somewhere, they're not.
But that's
to be
why
clear.
Mike Tomlin made the comments. Like, I think he's a little bit more, I think he's a little nervous.
No.
Of Joe Flacco.
Drew, what I hear here is Drew has talked himself. We don't have enough time.
Mike
Drew
Tomlin
has talked
would
himself into the
tell his
Bengals
team to
having a
not
chance.
sack Jake Browning because they want Jake Browning. The same thing with Anthony Richardson. Mike Tomlin would tell the team to not hurt Jake Browning, to not even sack him, make sure he doesn't get hit. That's how bad Jake Browning was playing.
Not an opinion. I know Bengals are going nowhere. That's not an opinion. It's not a thought. It's a fact.
Drew, add that to the file. Add that to the file you're building.
It will be added.
Oh, man. Up next, let's get back to the Chiefs.
Will be added.
No
Poor
more Joe
Lamar
Flacco.
Jackson, poor Josh Allen. You know, this is what it's like to be. This is what he got a taste of what it was like yesterday, and he couldn't hang. 2 picks.
Wait.
He stunk yesterday.
What? What are you?
We got to get to a break. We'll get back to the other side.
He stunk.
I don't even know what
Talk
you're talking
about the Chiefs running backs next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Kansas City, it's time to turn up the heat. The Westport Sunfresh is back and better than ever. Now proudly part of the Cosentino Food Stores family. We're celebrating with a re-grand opening you won't want to miss. That means 3 full weeks of hot savings on the freshest produce, premium meats, and all your grocery favorites. Come experience the new and improved Westport Sunfresh, your neighborhood store, now with even more local love. Located in the heart of Westport, only at Cosentino's Westport Sunfresh.
Schedule your home improvement project while the weather is still nice with Powell Exteriors KC. They offer easy financing, pay no interest until 2027, a 10-year workmanship warranty, and their extended summer sale. PowellExteriorsKC.com. The power of KC is Powell Exteriors KC.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed. which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Stay comfortable year-round with fast, reliable service 24/7, even weekends and holidays. Already invested in repairs? Save up to $4,500 on a new HVAC system. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Coming up in 25 minutes, Nate Taylor from ESPN going to join us in studio. We'll get his perspective on the Chiefs' win against the Lions, where things are at offensively, the MVP conversation, see what he makes of perhaps Matt Nagy's name coming up already in Tennessee, and anything new, if any, on the Josh Simmons front. Who
I don't feel like anybody's got anything new on that.
It's been pretty quiet. Nobody knows really what's going on, and more, obviously, the football side of it is he going to play on Sunday? Andy Reid really didn't know.
We don't have to get at it too long, but man, Drew, tough. You're convinced that they're going to get to 7-7?
I said if they can get to 7-7,
but they can't. You understand that, right?
You said they had the second easiest division or the second easiest schedule the rest of the way. I think that helps a little bit. The Steelers also have they might not even have to win 10 games to win the division. The Steelers have the 27th. Well, what did you say? They have one of the hardest schedules left in the league. And the Steelers and the Ravens are basically out of it.
The Ravens are done. Yeah, they're done.
I mean, if you were to say 9-8 wins the division, I would say 7-7 gives you a pretty good shot when you get your starting quarterback back.
I'm just saying you can't get to 7-7 with Joe Flacco and the.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, there's no way to tell.
The 29th ranked offense and the 30th ranked defense. I don't think that team's going to get on a heater and go 5-3.
All right, let's get back to the Chiefs. I don't want to talk about a losing football team. So the Chiefs running back conversation is a lot different now, I think, for the Chiefs internally than what it was a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, I think most people had basically come to the conclusion that they're going to have to trade for a running back.
Yeah.
Then on Sunday morning, there was a report from Mike Garafolo that the Chiefs and Chargers were among at least 2 teams that had started at least calling teams about running backs. Now, in the report, it does not say, was that something that occurred this past week? Was that something that they had already called in weeks prior? Because I'm convinced now, and I don't think everybody's going to necessarily like it, but the way the offense is humming and the fact that they're getting a little bit more out of the running game, I think they're going to say, well, maybe we don't have to go give up draft assets for the future to go get a rental, Breece Hall or HN. I guess he has a year under his contract, but you get the point. I don't think they're going to do that. I still wouldn't mind it, that's for sure. But I wonder if they're going to, if make any trade, it's actually going to be more on rotational edge or some other help defensively, not on offense. We know it's not going to be a wide receiver for once. That's nice. It's not going to be an offensive lineman. That's nice also for once. You're not even worrying about that. It's, to me, going to be somebody on defense if they make a move at all. I don't think the urgency is going to be the same way unless there's an injury to the backfield. I believe they think they're getting enough out of the offense now.
I think that in reality, as much as we want to admit it, it's done. If you guys were hoping that they were going to trade for a running back, it's dead. It's not going to happen. Defensive line, that's real, and they need that. And it won't be, look, whatever pipe dream of Jeffrey Simmons or, I don't know, Hendrickson or whoever the hell you're thinking, elite level defensive linemen you think are coming to Kansas City, you can let that dream die. Someone else might go get Hendrickson. Someone might else go get Simmons. But knowing their cap numbers, that's just not super realistic. What we have not discussed is the Chiefs have figured out how to run. They are not as bad of a running team as you think. Now, part of that is because Patrick Mahomes exists. Okay, so I'll just admit that if you said running yards per their backs, they would obviously be a lot lower. They are the 11th best yards per game rushing attack in the NFL. But what has changed over the last 2 to 3 weeks is Isaiah Pacheco and them running under center. So Ted Nguyen, who covers some of this stuff from an analytical end, he ran all the numbers on Isaiah Pacheco, how he runs under center versus how he runs under shotgun. He averages more than a yard and a half more under center. He has 12% more of a success rate. He gets a yard and a half more before he gets contacted and averages more yards per rush after contact when they run under center. What I think they figured out is we will give it to Pacheco most of the time. And what it seems to settle into, 50% Pacheco, 30% Hunt, 20-ish, sometimes less percent for Brashard Smith. And what they've settled into is we'll throw it to Brashard, we'll use Kareem Hunt in short yardage, and when we run with Pacheco, we'll do it more under center, and this works. And because they're so good on offense in the passing game, I don't think they're going to feel like they care to fix it. And it's going to get easier to run now that Rashee Rice is back. Gold, teams are going to have to not play the run against Kansas City. Let's just face the reality. They're not going to be able to afford it.
That was happening in the first 3 weeks when the offense wasn't playing well. That was the whole stat. Like, hey, Pacheco's struggling and he's facing the lightest boxes of anybody in the NFL. That was why it was so concerning. And that's why it was so concerning. Well, now they're taking advantage of it. So yeah, teams are going to worry about the pass. But I'm saying even the first 2 weeks when the offense wasn't playing well, they still were giving them an opportunity to run the football. They just didn't have success doing it. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think, yes, the adjustment to go under center a little bit more has definitely helped. They're able to do more play action that's being more successful. I think Pacheco is also just playing better football and is kind of regrouped after the drop pass on the screen, and he kind of said he needed a reset. And to his credit, he's playing some better football here right now and not making the mistakes.
Is there any other trade outside of those? Defensive line, we all agree they could use some help there. I saw someone earlier mention linebacker. I'm like, I think they like their
unless there's an
linebacker.
Injury, they're in really good shape in linebacker.
Corner, they're not even using Christian Fulton yet, and they seem to have some depth there. Safety, we haven't really mentioned Hicks' name, and his playing time's been going down a little bit because they're playing Connor so much. So maybe there, but again, I don't think that's a position they target. Legitimately, the only 2 positions I think you can make an argument for the Chiefs should make a trade are running back and defensive line. And I'm telling you, they're not trading for a running back. They're just going to deal with what they have, accept what they have, and that is going to be how I think they're going to handle it the rest of the way, even though there were rumors that maybe they were looking. I think they found a bounce. Defensive line, however, please.
Interior or on the edge.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Derek Nottie, did you see on Sunday Night Football? Did you see that old Pro Football Focus?
I was at
that.
They didn't.
You were at the game. So on the game, as you know, when they do their introduction, say, Derek Nottie, whatever school he went to, I don't remember. Yeah. And then below that, they have started putting the Pro Football Focus ranks for your position. Of 119 players, do you know where Derek Nottie ranked?
Well, because you're bringing it up, I'm going to guess he was 119th.
Correct.
Okay.
Dead last. Well, it wasn't first.
Yeah.
He ranked out of PFF grades 119th out of 119 at his position. So, like, it doesn't really matter. They need help anywhere on the defensive line. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't matter if it's edge. And Charles Omenihu and Chris Jones are probably coming off of two of their better
That's
games.
the other part of this equation, though,
But
Cody.
it's like, I mean, I don't know.
The deadline's November 4th. It's a Tuesday afternoon. The Chiefs have multiple games till they get there. Charles Omenihu's coming off his best game of the year. If he were to get going more, then I think it changes their thought process. And then it's more of all right, if we think there's a good option that's pretty team friendly on a deal to bring in, then they do it versus necessity. I don't think they're going to feel like they have to go do anything. I think it's going to be more like, hey, is the market present itself in a way that makes a lot of sense? That's not jeopardizing our future too much. That's the beautiful spot they're in.
I give up a fifth.
They're in a nice spot now where there's not the, oh my gosh, they have to go do this. They're not there anymore because of how things are trending for this football team.
I like it for the first time in years. We don't have to say which wide receiver should they go get.
Yeah,
I forgot DeAndre Hopkins got 5 receiving touchdowns for this team last year until we did that list during the random question yesterday. I had completely spaced that possibility. Next year, right now, they have, what do they have? They don't have a second round? Oh, they do. They have, I don't know, their standard picks? I'm trying to look. Now I'm just kind of curious what kind of picks they have. What picks they have next year, because I'm curious what they have to operate with as it relates to
Do they not have their full arsenal of their normal 1 through 7?
I just don't remember. They gave up, they have first, second, third, 2 fourths, because they got a 5th and a 7th, according to, I don't know, this article from Arrowhead Addict. That was written in March. Never mind. They probably traded one of those away. I don't know. But the point is they've got plenty of picks. I think they have their normal arsenal. They didn't trade any of their first or second, so we know that they didn't give anybody up on that. And DeAndre Hopkins didn't technically reach his incentives, so that deal ended up hurting them less overall. The whole key is I don't think they're going after a running back anymore. By the way, if they still could, I'm very interested in Breece Hall. I love the idea of, like, part of me, you know why I would make the argument if I were the Chiefs? If they sat me in a room and said, why would we even do this, man? The reason why I'd say to trade for running back is you don't know how many years you get with Patrick Mahomes just in general. Let's call it 10. He's 30 years old. Let's say you get a decade. You get a decade of absolute every year you got a chance to win the Super Bowl. Right now, you have the 11th ranked points per game defense. Right now, the 9th ranked points per game defense, the 11th ranked points per game offense, and they're getting hot. And you got Patrick Mahomes playing at an MVP level. You sure you don't want to go and just like tear down the league and put everyone in their place for the rest of the year and go win a Super Bowl? You won't care about that pick with Breece Hall if you just go take this damn thing. And part of me thinks that if you got Breece Hall with all the weapons you got on offense, you will run through teams. You'll be the greatest show on turf kind of offense. Not the best offense in football. One of the best offenses in NFL history is what it'll feel like.
As you know, it just depends on the asking price and how many other. I mean, we know the Chargers are already calling around for running backs. What other teams are calling around for running backs? What's that market look like? The Jets are already 0-6, so you know they should be willing to trade Breece Hall. But what's that look like? Achane to me is the guy I would acquire if I were a team that was looking for a running back at this point in time. The Dolphins are just kind of in no man's land right now. At this point,
we both listed 2 running backs who are on teams that are going nowhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can admit that. The Dolphins' only problem is they've got
someone says, what's the most you'd be willing to give up for any of the available backs?
Third.
Fourth. It'd have to be a conditional third. I'm not giving up a third. No, I'm not giving up a third. It'd have to be a conditional. Yeah, it'd have to be a conditional third for me to do that. Breece Hall and Achane, at least there's more than this year, like possibility. Like Kamara, I know he's under contract. I'm not really interested in that money that it cost like down the road. Like, so that's where the value of the pick would be different for him versus Breece Hall or Achane. If I felt like there was some future 2026, 2027 production coming as well, then it changes my thought process. How much do they like the draft class next year out of the running backs? This is stuff we don't have the answer to that they are obviously looking at too.
No, I just don't feel like that deal's going to come. And like you said, maybe the defensive line deal doesn't come if they continue to get better under that area as well.
Random question.
Random question of the day brought to you by Kansas City Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. Visit kcurology.com today. For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Always encourage you to go watch the show on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. Like and subscribe over on YouTube. You'll see everyone's interacting in the chat. More people to enjoy the show with together. For sometimes a text line, you're just interacting with us over on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and stuff. You can interact with everybody who's interacting with the show, which is a nice thing to have. Question I have today is...
It is nice, Cody. You know, it is.
Yeah.
It is
Because
real
sometimes
nice,
I forget.
you know?
Well, and sometimes people on the text line are like, did you see my text? Am I being ignored? Do you guys hate me? I'm like, I can't respond
to every text.
to every text that comes through.
We see them.
So I try to pay attention when I can. Question I have today is about television and who is the audience for certain things. What I want to know, and then I'll give you my example so you can think about it for a minute, is when's the last time you watched a trailer for a show, a trailer for an episode of a television show, and you ask yourself, who the hell is watching that? Because the one that has continued to pop up in my feed, and I'm sorry if this is you and this is about to be offensive. If you are the intended audience or the person watching the 911 Lone Star episode when they go to space, I think you might have terrible taste in television, and I can't figure out who that episode's for. What are we doing? Breakout cities, so spin-off series of 911, apparently, which was a show before. And now they're trying to take it to space. They called the episode Austin, We Have a Problem, and they sent an ambulance driver to space to try to save someone. And when I see that trailer every time, I wonder, who is watching this? Who is watching this show? Who would want to watch this episode? So the question I have for you is, what other show or episodes appeal? Or, like I said.
So a couple things with it. I would say TV shows that are not on Netflix or the streaming apps nowadays, I don't really watch. Like back when I was in junior high and high school, I would watch whatever was on ABC, whatever the hit show was at the time on ABC or CBS or NBC, whatever. Now I couldn't tell you the last time I just watched a standalone show that is on let's call it Tuesday nights on ABC. I couldn't name you that, but I will say in the summertime is when because that's when they put on this filler programming, and you'll see previews and trailers for these spinoffs of new concept game shows that are just horrific. That are just terrible.
1 versus 100.
Yeah, new game shows. People, they'll have
he's on the other 911 show. And we're really knocking Rob Lowe's career off.
And they'll have some new celebrity hosting it, and the trailer it looks like it's terrible. And it'll be on in the summertime on a Sunday night, and you're like, who the heck is watching this?
Someone says 60 to 70-year-olds for this show. Over on YouTube, someone's comment, Brian's was, man, my 85-year-old grandmother is all about that show and can't wait for that episode. It is working. Somebody mentioned The Masked Singer is one of those shows for them. I will say my kids like watch it. If it comes, I haven't watched a full episode. It comes on after sports or something else. I don't know. It's occasionally popped up, and my kids are like silly costumes. It seems, I don't know. It's not for me. I don't consume it regularly, but at least something there. Somebody says they don't understand the Is This Cake show.
Cody probably loves that.
I've never seen it. That's not a real baking show. That's just they make cake to look like a computer and say it's a cake. That feels like kind of the only baking show I watch is the Great British Bake Off. As I told you, I don't watch any of the food show competition things. I don't watch Top Level Chef.
You don't watch the Holiday Baking Championship?
No.
Those ones are good for us.
No, I don't watch those.
Enjoy those.
Worth it?
I've
never seen it.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's just I
might catch an episode of
different people get creative with their ideas. It's the same sort of thing every year, I guess.
Somebody's mentioning shows now they do like. Somebody says their young daughter really loves that 911 show. So interesting, the ones that hit for people. Somebody said the Bee Tornado episode was pretty good. Bee Tornado. See, this is the part. I just don't feel like I can get on board with it. I just can't get on board with it. Someone mentioned NCIS, Drew, which sounds like the kind of shows you watch pretty regularly. Didn't you say you watch those?
Used to watch the only NCIS that I've watched is the New Orleans one. That one ended a while ago. That one ended 4 or 5 years ago, I think, after COVID. But yeah, normally like those crime type of shows. So Dick Wolf is the name of the guy that created FBI and the FBI series. Very, very good series.
He also
very, very
Law
good
and Order
executive
as well.
producer. Yeah, he's very good.
People are familiar with Dick Wolf's
his work.
I mean, he's pretty well known.
The FBI shows are obviously great. There's one for me, so I guess it's because it's not my cup of tea, but anytime a scary movie is on, it's who is that? I understand there's a lot of people who do it, but it ain't for me. I don't know how people get to that point where they want to voluntarily watch scary movies.
Can I ask about one show that I haven't started watching that I think I'm gonna? Has anybody started watching Task? It looks great. People are talking about it like it's great. I was just looking for someone I
What
know
is that on?
to give me HBO. Someone I know to give me the yeah, man, you should watch that show. It's a crime thriller. Drew, it feels right up your alley too, Gold. It's got Mark Ruffalo and a couple of other people. The guy who plays her brother in Ozark and all this stuff. And he's trying to get after like a gang.
Tom.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
I can't remember his name.
Pelfrey
or
whatever
Pelfrey.
is.
And so like, cast looks good, trailers look good. Every time I put on HBO for something else, I'm always tempted by it, but I hadn't started it, so I just thought, since we're talking TV, maybe he could tell me whether or not it's any good.
Okay. Yeah,
that's all.
I haven't started a new show in a while. During football season, I don't really start new shows typically.
Somebody mentioned Golden Bachelor is a show they don't understand why anybody watches. I mean, I don't know. Already watched The Bachelor. To go one up feels like side quest.
Golden
Bachelor feels
Bachelor.
like a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my random question of the day.
Thank you.
Now we just got people mentioning shows they do like.
That's fun.
Not a single person yet telling me whether or not Task is good. Is nobody watching this show yet? Just trying to figure out one person. That's all. You're not watching any show right now?
No, I'm waiting. No.
What are you watching like a Tuesday night? Let's say there's no baseball tonight. There is baseball.
That's the thing. Is like we're in a flow where there is sports on every single night.
Is there any? Yeah, I mean there is.
We're in a stretch where we're getting doubleheader Monday night games. We're getting Thursday night football, college football on Saturday, NFL all day Sunday, MLB playoffs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like right now, I don't need any TV shows to watch. I'm booked up.
He's booked, just like the Grinch said.
I think you got to vary your viewership. You know, I'm not married to one thing.
I like watching plenty of shows, just not right now. I mean, Succession. Oh my gosh, the Severance. I've watched over the last couple of months, but
the way you really did just rattle off that stuff, you sound like the Grinch in that movie in Jim Carrey's Grinch, where he's just, well, I got this and I got this and I got this.
No, I'm just saying that I have watched shows that are quote unquote newer shows. I just right this second I'm already done with those. I don't need to watch Severance. I'm caught up.
Pick up Task.
I guess I still have a few more episodes of the new season of Ted Lasso I need to watch, but I don't know. I'm not going to go home this afternoon and just watch 2 hours of Ted Lasso from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I'd rather not. I don't know.
Text line's catching up so far. 3 people have said Task is great.
Yeah. Someone says, who are all the podcasts on Odyssey they advertise the heck out of during the show for? I don't know.
I don't listen to the podcast commercials, as you can imagine, very often when I'm
on the show.
So you have to tell me.
I don't know. You tell us what's the great ones? What are the good ones? Stranger Things is starting up. That is true. That'll get me to start watching again. That is true. The new season comes out.
Do they release it all at once?
I think
it's a binge release?
I think it's a two-parter, I think, is how they're doing it.
But is it binge release, like all 8 episodes?
I do not know.
Swoop?
My guess is they're slowing it down.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
My schedule wouldn't allow it.
That's you, Alex Gold, right there.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Drew.
You just asking which shows we didn't like. I've watched that trailer because it shows up on whatever YouTube TV or whatever I'm watching on. That 911 space one has showed up so many times. I'm like, I can't take this trailer anymore. If I promise to watch the episode, can I get a different commercial? I'll watch just that one episode. I promise. If you will stop feeding me the commercial for the episode of the show I do not want to see. I would genuinely sign up for that. If I promise to buy a product of a commercial, like if I promise to buy a 6-month subscription for RenoveQ or whatever, can I stop getting the commercial? Can I get a fresh one? Whatever stupid one I'm sick of seeing. Kesimpta.
See, now you're aware of the show.
Can I get some
now
Kesimpta?
You're aware of the show.
Whatever it takes.
See, you're aware of it now. That's how this works.
You need to talk.
I'm never going to watch it.
You need to talk to your phone long enough where all of a sudden the ads are just programmed for things that you want to hear, Cody. You just have to,
But I mean, that's not going to stop drug commercials from coming through. No matter what, those are coming through.
Yeah.
Just is what it is, man.
That's the random question of the day here on Cody and Gold. Thinking of streaming, don't forget, you can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount. Plus, watch your local NFL game all season long. Kicking off with this Week 7 matchup between the Raiders and Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Nate Taylor from ESPN going to join us in studio. We'll ask him about the Chiefs' offensive line and will they have Josh Simmons for Sunday, what he expects Rashee Rice's role to be on Sunday, plus the rest of the NFL next.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Creed Humphrey. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
BetMGM is inviting you to charge the field this pro football season. Existing BetMGM customers can have a ball without having to sweat. Log into your account to get a pro football no sweat token. Apply the token to your next pro football bet. If you lose with the token attached, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets. That's right, with a no sweat token, you get your stake back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's nothing like a fresh set of downs. And that's just what BetMGM is offering if you don't win with a no-sweat token. Find your favorite matchup and be part of the action. Make this pro football season one for the ages. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months. 0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hello, Kansas City. Christopher Youngers here with Cafe Trio. The seasons, they are changing. And if you haven't seen Cafe Trio during the holidays, from Halloween, the Plaza Lights, and Christmas with all of our decorations, well, then you've missed out on one of the most seasonally spectacular dining experiences in town. Offering live music, very spirited holiday decorations, and farm-to-table fresh menus, Cafe Trio is the place to be for the holidays. 45th and Main, cafetriokc.com.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level, on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Fesco and Dusty, weekdays 6 to 10 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
1 o'clock hour. I like this, Drew. I like this.
Little
Alex
NBA
Gold.
Street Volume 2
Yeah,
for those who,
I thought it sounded familiar. That was a classic. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We're expecting to have Nate Taylor stop in any minute now. He's going to join us in studio. Our weekly conversation with our Chiefs insider from ESPN. So that'll be coming up in just a little bit. NBA Street. There's a couple just classics that you can't really replicate if you try to redo them. It was the right timing of the soundtrack. I would argue SSX Tricky was another one of those. It was a snowboarding game. I don't care about snowboarding, but I loved the game and it had a great soundtrack.
You liked playing it?
Yeah, SSX Tricky.
Is that like some of the games from that era, are they worth money? I know the college football games were worth money.
I bet you NBA Street probably is.
SSX Tricky Xbox.
That one might be.
Came out in 01. November of 01, and then they made a bunch of sequels.
I will say the 2003 Madden, I think, is my favorite video game soundtrack.
Was that Michael Vick?
That was with Andrew WK and Falk, I think, on it.
Okay.
It's like Andrew WK and Joel Madden, like good Charlotte stuff. It was all
that was when you played the training camp mode, and you did the training camp drills, and then the music it fit perfectly. You're doing the running back drill, trying to get your guys. Anyway, yeah. That was
classic
awesome.
games that are arguably better than the ones now.
I didn't buy Madden this year. I didn't buy the college football game this year.
I don't even own a newer console.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and we did our NCAA tournament
I own the
last
Switch
year.
too, but like my kids play it.
Yeah, you have the Switch too.
I just meant, I guess, like
SSX Tricky is.
Someone says that's a classic. Yes, it is.
SSX Tricky on the PS2 is $39 right now.
$39.
That's not.
See, the issue I think I would have with going back and trying to play any of those would just be like, back then you didn't realize the graphics weren't that good. And so you thought it was great.
Yeah.
Now going back, you're like, oh, this is hard to even see what I'm doing. That's what I ran into when I've tried to go back and play some of the classic games.
Nostalgia.
I'm just like, I loved, as a kid, I loved playing SimCity. Like, not The Sims, but SimCity. I'm talking on the Super Nintendo. Love that game. I went back and played, I think some recent one came out with what do they call that? I don't know what the word is, but basically they brought it back without even remastering it.
Yeah.
And I can't play it. I mean, it's
too much.
You can't see anything.
I will say, though, there is a part of me that if you said, all right, instead of whenever I'm doom scrolling a social media site or whatever on my phone, if I could just knock out 45 minutes of Roller Coaster Tycoon, I'm not so sure.
Cody,
I'm not so
that's
sure.
another great example.
I wouldn't get down on it. I'm not sure if I had a phone app that just let me play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That's another great example.
I wouldn't be interested.
And I don't think I could play. So Backyard Baseball and football, they're bringing back the series. I have the mobile version of it. They just brought it back. Backyard Baseball. I have it on my iPad and stuff, and I thought I was so excited. I paid the $4.99. I'm like, whatever, and it's fine. But again, it leaves you something. Yeah. That one at least is a little more where it's so simple that the graphics aren't as problematic. But anyway, Nate Taylor from ESPN, our Chiefs insider, joining us. You had to play some of these games.
I love this. This timing is like fortuitous because I've basically been on my phone, driving over here and talking to certain people, both personal and within the league. And so I didn't know you guys were going down this memory.
We didn't either. We didn't either. We just got there.
Yeah. So my kiddo Hayden, who is 10, he's a 5th grader, and he's he's very much into like building things, and Legos is his jam, right? So as Holly will attest to, I've spent perhaps too much money on Lego sets, but his most recent one that we built over the weekend was the Lego new version of the Game Boy.
Okay.
And that opened up.
I've seen that. That thing looks cool.
It's really nice. I should have taken a photo. Or maybe I did. Maybe I took a photo when he built it. I don't know. But anyway, it's really nice. It looks so realistic to like what it was like to hold it in your hand as a kid. And so again, it's a great conversation starter between like a father and a son, and me trying to explain to him like what life was back in the day. And
God, you were a king if you had a Game Boy.
Yeah,
those were awesome.
I had both the original and the color one.
The Game Boy Color, yeah.
With like Pokemon Red or Pokemon Yellow at the time. Oh my God, guys. I mean, you want to talk about cherishing moments that I didn't realize I needed to cherish them even more. So now, because my son just loves holding this Lego Game Boy in his hand, he really wants to get the experience. And I kid you not, part of me this morning made several phone calls to several local establishments to be like, hey, y'all got that old Game Boy? Y'all got that Game Boy?
Any luck?
Apparently there's a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, that's what my nephew's got. They got a Game Boy DS or an Advance, one of those?
Yeah, there's a Game Boy Advance. I shouldn't be telling this because,
someone going to go snag it.
Someone going to go get it in the next 2 hours. But, like, I guess Vintage Stock on Shawnee Mission Parkway has a Game Boy Advance. And so that apparently what they told me is you can play old school Game Boys, the Game Boy Colors, and whatever the Game Boy Advance games are. Guys, I've already... It's already a sunk cost, so we might as well go down the road fully. but yeah, like even places like Half Price Books have like
they do
Game Boy games, and I was just like, I want that one, this one, this one, this
you
one.
Find it on eBay and stuff.
Yeah,
too, man.
right.
Yeah.
So again, it's just a matter of like, well, I got to be in the car anyway. I'm running errands today because it's Tuesday. But yeah, what a time, man. I mean to call the Switch the call the Switch a classic is just like, man,
it is pretty amazing. This is also thinking of things that kind of repeat itself or become cool again. The Chiefs are back in the same spot. I feel like with all the narratives that are out there. We were discussing,
Super Bowl favorites. Refs are against us.
Yeah, Super Bowl favorites. Mahomes is an MVP favorite. The rigging of the refs, all that. They're fully back now. I think we're actually at that point. Let's start with the offense, which we know gets Rashee Rice back on Sunday. We can get there.
Yep.
But what we're seeing from this offense over the last couple of weeks, what's the biggest change for you that has allowed them to now become a real problem for everybody again?
Yeah. I think in short, they actually have a luxury now. They're actually a unit that has luxuries, like multiple. So I know some people might be tuning in to see if I have like any information on Josh Simmons. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've made the calls.
No one seems to have it.
I've made the calls. Yeah. I'm working on sort of trying to identify as much as we know with Adam Schefter, our top ESPN insider. I'm sorry, I don't have anything substantial to give you. With that being said, they have the luxury of Jalen Moore, who just wakes up Sunday and is like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm starting today." Not the plan, but I'll start. I'll be good. The offense will stay exactly in rhythm. I don't know how many people thought about this, but I was driving home from Arrowhead late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and it dawned on me that like I know he played because I saw him in the locker room. I saw him in uniform. They didn't even need Tyquan Thornton.
Nope.
Think about that. Where they, 3 weeks ago.
He was the number one wide receiver for 3 weeks.
Needed Tyquan Thornton 3 weeks ago against the New York Giants, excuse me. So they have luxuries everywhere now where, if you're playing man coverage, the quarterback is masterful enough to check you into a man-beating play. And guess what? There's Hollywood Brown wide open in the end zone. All right, are they playing zone? Cool. I have a much better version of Travis Kelce right now than I had at really any point last regular season. So, okay, cool. I'll just throw it to him because they're in zone with like linebackers. I mean, obviously, like I'm either throwing it to him or Juju Smith-Schuster off of RPO action. They are now running the ball under center.
How about that? Love
That's
it.
the biggest.
Love it.
That's been the biggest change.
That's the biggest shock is that they actually, guys.
It's working though.
Yes, this is kind of my point. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you have succeeded in your rallying cry. You know, we've obviously asked Andy Reid about it. Andy Heck, the offensive line coach, Matt Nagy, who
might be the Titans head coach one day.
One game got some shine on him. One primetime game spotlight got some shine on him because now they have luxury, and now you can see like, okay, when the coaching staff is actually motivated, is somewhat backed into a corner because you lost against the Jaguars, a game you shouldn't have lost, and you are actually learning your players and changing your scheme, you know, ever so slightly to enhance the players that you have. Oh my God, they run under center, and it's like Isaiah Pacheco became a normal running back again. You know, asking him to show off that burst and that vision from shotgun. Okay, we tried it for like 4 weeks, didn't work, but Kingsley Suamata'i is getting better. You know, Josh Simmons has played excellent. You know, for the first 5 weeks, you have Jalen Moore come in. Nothing misses a beat. They run the ball under center. They have so many luxuries now. And I haven't even gotten to Rashee Rice, which, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to do this because I've already done it. Watch the Vegas Raiders defense. Watch it.
Not good.
It's awful, okay? And that's even with them getting a coach fired yesterday.
I saw that. That was, yeah, I did see that.
Like, they are still not good. The Titans had a multitude of mistakes, but against an offense with multiple weapons where you really do have to account for Tyquan Thornton, which opens things up for Hollywood Brown. Or, hey, you have to account for Travis Kelce and, you know, Xavier Worthy, which might open up things for Rashee Rice on Sunday. They don't have nearly enough capable players in the back end to compete with the Chiefs on Sunday.
Can I ask, I want to go back to Simmons just for a minute, and then I know we got other stuff to talk about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
One, I don't think it's unreasonable, the questions Andy's being asked, and he's treating them like they're unreasonable, which is he going to be available on Sundays? Essentially, the last two things he was – the first question was from Vahe, which was, when did he know? And then the following question was, is he going to be available? And he doesn't want to answer it. What?
Yeah.
Like, so we don't know what's going on. Am I to assume that it can be personal health, personal mental health, personal otherwise? I mean, is it just like it could be anything right now?
It might be all the above.
Family?
It might be all the above. And the thing that I can say that I think is a bit tricky, that maybe we didn't all kind of quite understand Sunday, because again, like, I was building a Lego set with my son on Sunday.
I know. I sent you a text. You said, "Yo, what happened?"
And I'm like, "Wait, what?" You know, like I'm playing with the kids outside. Like we you know, hanging out with Noah, who's our 6-month-old, and so, you know, I'm trying to like gather things and like get ready to go to the stadium myself. I don't think what we realize now, which I don't think I quite understood or realized Sunday, is all of this is like really unplanned. It's not coordinated well. I think the communication could be better on both parties.
Okay.
I guess. And, you know, I know what NBC reported during the game, which is like, hey, he flew back to California. Now, his family is predominantly in the San Diego area. So that gives you an idea, ladies and gentlemen. But it could be all the above, Cody, which is tricky. And I did something that I was taught as a young reporter, and this can work for especially the young men who are recently married. If Rob's listening to this, Rob, how long Rob been married? Like a year?
Not even.
Oh my God!
It's been a year at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
All right, happy anniversary, Rob, and his lovely wife. But like, clip this for Rob. Okay, your lady said this, therefore it has informed my question, which is, you said this, now here's my question. Andy Reid yesterday was like, he filibustered for 4 minutes. He is an amazing filibuster, coach.
Oh, he's good.
He's really good at it. He'll just go through the stat sheet. Yes, coach. I already know. I was there too. Thank you. But he says, hey, when it comes to Josh, I don't have anything for you. I'm not going to talk about it personal. And you're like, okay, all right. So now I got a few minutes to all right, coach, you said, this is me yesterday. Coach, you said it's personal. I'm not going to get into that.
I know.
But have you had any conversations about
is he
what it looks like with him returning to the team? Or is it so uncertain right now that you can't even give that update? He didn't answer the question.
No.
So that was our whole thing yesterday. A few people got upset with us. We're saying, I'm not saying it's any of our business to know exactly what is happening at this present moment.
But your coworker was like, yo, when is Rob coming to work?
But exactly.
Yes.
Or you say, hey, honestly, we don't know at this time, Nate. We don't know when he's coming back.
He's not willing to say that.
And he just finally said, I'm not talking about it. That's
Correct.
what we said, which sounded like something clearly is going on, and that was our whole thing. And we'll maybe know more tomorrow. I know Andy's got to speak again tomorrow.
It is tricky because I'm not trying to be super duper invasive.
Correct.
I don't work for TMZ, ladies and gentlemen. I work for ESPN.
You're just trying to find out if Simmons is going to be available to play the game on Sunday.
Correct.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Jalen Moore had a quote in the locker room Sunday that essentially alluded to the fact that he might play against the Raiders. So, and that's in my story that's on ESPN.com. It's just hey, I'm ready to I know I got to get better, and I know I got to get ready for the next game, which again alludes to the fact that, hey, if you don't know if your teammate's coming back, or if this isn't a one-time situation where it's hey, Chris Jones went to his aunt's funeral. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate. But hey, the team knew here's the plan.
That's the other part. And what Andy Reid didn't say, my thoughts are with him and his family. He didn't say that. So it's just kind of bizarre.
And again, I know people have put this online. I was on Twitter a little bit ago and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. I understand your desire to have some form of information, and we're trying. But
they're being really
But
tight,
no one's no one's really said much, and this goes to multiple layers within not only the team but just the NFL as a whole. And again, if we know something, I would be more than happy to tell you. If it was family related, I would be more than happy to tell you. I can't even get that sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even get that necessarily confirmed or it's something else. So it's difficult.
It's not even that. I'm just asking whether or not he's available. You got personal stuff.
Yeah, when is he coming back? And there's no
okay.
There's
is
no
he
guarantee.
available to play sometime in the next month? Is he not available to play this Sunday? That's all I'm asking.
Now I just want to remind people it was Monday. It was a week ago, Monday night in Jacksonville, where he went through the entire pregame warm up and he didn't feel right. And I don't know if that was hey, you ate something or because of the heat, because it was very hot that night, and hey. For whatever reason, you're just not feeling great. Okay, put him down as questionable for illness, even though the game hasn't even started. Played the game, played really, really well. I don't think he talked to many reporters because, again, you kind of know the situation. Dude not feeling good. So I know I didn't talk to him after the game in Jacksonville, and then we have this situation. And I guess, again, I'm trying to be reasonable, trying to be respectful. Would I be surprised if he doesn't play on Sunday? Would I be surprised if he's not with the team all week? I mean, at this point, I guess no. Yeah. And again, this is me talking out loud, but you just hope everything's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But it does make this perhaps a bit more mysterious, a bit more strange and odd. Unusual is a word I've been hearing a lot in talking to people in and around the team in the league.
He's not going to be able to avoid it once if he misses it again this week.
Yeah, we'll see what he says tomorrow. He being Andy Reid, obviously.
Right.
You'll hear that here on 96.5 The Fan. Nate Taylor from ESPN hanging out with us as he does each and every Tuesday. All right, defensively for this team, they hold the number one offense at football to 17 points. I know the first half in particular, they weren't getting any pressure on Goff, and you're like, oh boy, this is going to be this could be a long night. They're not getting anywhere near him. They were able, though, to bottle up Jahmyr Gibbs, and that was a huge key. Amon-Ra was shut down except for one drive. And then when it mattered most, late, Charles Omenihu, welcome to the 2025 season.
Yeah, he's been trending.
Last week he was better too.
Yes, he's been trending in the correct direction. And so you do hold out a little bit of faith that because again, Charles Omenihu has played his best football, and this isn't just with the Chiefs. This is also the case with the 49ers, the team he was previously with before he joined the Chiefs. He kind of is a second half of the season player. Even when he's had the ability to play a full season, he's not started seasons off well. It's something I'm actually
digging into.
Fascinated to talk to him about. Why do you play better in November, December, January? whether you have an injury, a suspension, or not. So again, that's a positive sign. Now, this was a shock to me because, again, sometimes I try to watch the game. It's a little difficult for night games because, in the press box, you're just like, okay, I just need to watch the live 22. I'm not watching the player introductions for NBC. Obviously, with them partnering with Chris Collinsworth, they have the PFF rankings right there. And, I asked the question, as I do every halftime, hey, what is everybody thinking? Shout out to Mike Barnett, who says, look, the defensive line has to be better. Yes. Derek Nottie as the last ranking guy in the league is wild. And then my question was, hold up. Did they really show that during the player introductions?
119th out of 119.
It's a wrap, guys. It's a wrap.
They missed. They should have kept Pennell.
Yeah.
What's so weird is they saw two
and you
guys
have a
work
draft
out.
pick, which I know they kind of already have because of the Sky Moore trade, so you feel a little bit more flexible to do that. But you can have more picks. You know, you could have kept Mike Pennell, who was, unless he was punching teammates that we didn't know about. Like, by the way, Mike Pennell, incredible guy. Derek Nottie, one of the nicest men you'll ever find. Love Derek Nottie. It's a wrap. And I know the Chiefs are trying to do the right thing of like balancing. This guy's a veteran. He knows the defense in and out, been in all the big game situations. Derek Nottie is a reason why the Chiefs have a dynasty, right? Because he has been helpful in postseason runs, particularly at stopping the run. But at his age, given the amount of injuries he's had, the fact that he is ranked 119th out of 119th, the Lions basically said, every run's going to be towards you and away from Chris Jones. And whether,
when they got into a passing situation, Chris Jones and Hugh and those guys got to do a little work.
Yes. And so it's time, because we're 6 games into the season, it's time for them to give Omar Norman-Lott the full go. Like, no more of this, like, half-measured, rotational, blah, blah, blah. Like, play the young guy. And if that means if you cut Derek Nottie's, I would argue if you cut Derek Nottie's snaps in half, you would actually get a better player than the guy that's playing the majority of the snaps, particularly early in the game, where he's ranked 119 out of 119, and he did not play well against the Lions. And so if you watch the game in the second half, guess who's not on the field? Obviously the game situation kind of changes because the offense did its part to give you a 10-point lead, and now the defensive line can be actual functional instead of what the Lions did, which is basically run the ball down their necks for the entirety of the opening drive, and should have scored a touchdown, if they just kept running the ball. Where Derek Nottie was,
they had to get cute.
Hey man, we on prime time. We gotta get these plays off.
When you I guess, and this goes back to like the offensive end, might be premature. I haven't even seen Rashee Rice play a single snap for the 2025 Chiefs.
Correct.
With Rice, they're the best offense in football, in my opinion. Without even seeing him play, I don't even need to see a snap to know that, because right now they're already one of the most efficient offenses in all of football.
Yes.
And they did that, and that's statistically even without Worthy for half the time.
Correct.
Since Worthy's been back, they have been the best offense in football, and they don't even have their number one weapon. I don't know how I'm supposed to assume there's some universe in which they aren't the best offense.
And the quarterback is being protected.
I know, and he's playing like old. He's playing like Mahomes again.
Guys,
he's just looking loose and fun.
It might be a wrap, man. like he's getting time to survey the field, go to second and third reads, which he has told us multiple times. He might not have his best receiver. I think everybody in the organization is like, no, Rasheed's the best receiver on the team, and that includes some pretty talented guys. Again, if Simmons comes back for Sunday's game, we'll see. If it's not, and it's Jalen Moore, okay, then you go from Aiden Hutchinson to maybe getting Max Crosby for the majority of the snap. That'll be a nice little matchup. Outside of that matchup, they got all the advantages. So if he's scoring 4 touchdowns, again, a somewhat banged up Detroit Lions defense.
Defensive line wasn't banged up.
That is true.
Secondary was, but the defensive line was.
And the linebackers were getting worked.
Yeah. That little move that Kelsey put and Mahomes with his eyes. That Kelsey throw is perfect.
Yes.
Underrated one of the game, probably.
Yes, yeah. So, again, the Lions had their best 3 linebackers and their defensive line. So, hey, they had a talented front 7 that you got to respect. Mahomes is playing just masterclass sort of football. And I've said this before, you go in cycles in your career where, hey, last time he was kind of in this particular circumstance was, hey, you kind of lost in an embarrassing fashion to the Cincinnati Bengals in the 2021 AFC Championship game. Your team no longer has Tyreek Hill. People are wondering, can you take it further? Can you continue to evolve? Not only did he evolve, he had the highest scoring offense and won the MVP. And then even when his ankle was ballooned like a freaking softball, still led them to a Super Bowl victory. Well, he hasn't had a down moment since then. They went to 3 straight Super Bowls. Now they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. They had to revamp their entire offensive line, particularly on the left side. And your best receiver, because of his own mistakes, isn't going to be available for the first 6 weeks of the season. You need to evolve yet again. You need to continue to grow and progress. And I wrote this after training camp where it was clear to me that one of the biggest things he worked on was accuracy. And that has really shown up over these 6 weeks where he's thrown one interceptable pass. And unfortunately for the team, Devin Neal took it to the house, right? But that's the only time that he's thrown the ball and you've been like, ooh, right? Where we see quarterbacks, and again, these people are human, but we see talented quarterbacks throw balls like all the time.
Constantly, sure.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the AFC a little bit, Nate, on the other side. The AFC West, the AFC number 1 seed conversation. We'll do that right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
No better time in Kansas City to be spending time in your dream outdoor space, and you could be doing that thanks to all-weather decks. The right deck at the right price. Kansas City's premier deck builder. Schedule a free estimate by giving them a call. 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. Let me tell you how easy the process is. Walk through the projects, I tell them what I'm looking for, and then they just give me a breakdown of what that could all look like depending on the materials I want or the size of the space that you want. I love a screened-in porch. It's my favorite place to watch sports this time of year. All of those things could be yours, and pictures of those projects up on their website right now. So whether you already have the dream in your head or you need inspiration, you can find it at allweatherdecks.net so you can see what that dream deck looks like for you. So let them build your dream deck, locally owned and operated, and a 24-time winner of Angie's List Super Service Award. Give them a call, 913-206-1974, or online at allweatherdecks.net.
Calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss.
Call it in the air.
Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Looking for a taste of the coast right here in Kansas City?
Every Tuesday at Pearl Tavern, you can dive into $2.50 tacos and shrimp tacos and sip on $5 house margaritas made with premium Jose Cuervo Tradicional Silver Tequila from 3 p.m. to close in the bar area. It's Taco Tuesday, seafood style. So cast your weekend stress aside and let Pearl Tavern tide you over until the weekend. Pearl Tavern, your local fresh seafood spot in Lee Summit.
Hey, it's Cody Gold. You guys know we've been telling you about our friends over at Centric and how in just as little as 4 months you could find a brand new career in IT.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and cybersecurity threats are increasing every year. You could have a new career working in that field. Don't just take it from us. Listen to Carney.
I'm Carney, a U.S. Army veteran and now an Enterprise Service Desk Technician. Using my GI Bill here wasn't just about training for a civilian career. It was about joining a community that supports veterans.
So go to Centric.com to learn more. Schedule a meeting with our buddy Russ.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
There we go, Drew. You brought it back for me. I appreciate that. Well, SSX. Tricky, baby. We've got Nate Taylor from ESPN hanging out with us. Last night, Nate, we saw Buffalo lose their second game in a row. This time it was to the Atlanta Falcons. And going into that game, we kind of were touching on the ability for Atlanta to run the football on them because the Bills, anybody can run on them. They're going to allow teams to be in every one of these games. And admittedly, I was wrong about the 1 seed. I thought the Bills were going to run away with it with their schedule. And by the way, it still is easy.
Yeah.
And the Bills are still the favorites to be the 1 seed. But it feels like this is way more open. What's your thoughts on just, the Bills and then the number 1 seed at this point where, the Colts have to at least be considered for that. Maybe you don't think they're a Super Bowl contender, but the number 1 seed, they're 5-1.
Yep. I mean, I can't look, guys. We're a third through the season, so
you can't ignore them anymore.
So this is legitimate. I still want to see it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But they are 5-1. Their record is what their record is. When it comes to the Bills, think about it this way, guys. They don't have a truly, and again, this is why the Rashee Rice of it all gets really fascinating. Do the Bills have a player like Xavier Worthy?
No.
Do the Bills have a player like Travis Kelce?
Nope.
Do the Bills have a player like Rashee Rice?
No, I would probably take the top 3 weapons on the Chiefs before. Hell, even I'd make an argument Hollywood and Shakir.
And they're not using James Cook right now, which is bizarre.
Correct.
That was bizarre.
After they resolved his contract situation. So maybe they're trying to manage him throughout the course of the season. That makes sense. You've obviously invested in him. He is your best skill position player alongside Josh Allen. But I think that's why you saw some of the turnovers and some of the ability to okay, we're down. No one can win easily. I mean, Mike Hughes is out there, and they really couldn't take advantage of it. So yeah, I'm a little leery of the Bills if Josh isn't, Superman. And I would say even last year, Lamar Jackson had better weapons than Josh Allen had. I think that was one of the reasons why you might want to why you would, vote for Josh to be the MVP last year, because he was doing small miracles for that team. When it comes to the running disparity, how's that going to – I don't know, unless you make a move, unless you go get someone like Mike Pennell, I don't know how you necessarily improve that because, Joey Bosa I thought was an interesting signing, but he's there to rush the passer.
Same as Von Miller. It's just like dragging whatever aging pass rusher – to try to solve your defensive problems. They keep trying that. That's not a good solution.
Right. And so even when the Chiefs have played, some of the really, really good running backs in this league, I mean, it took Jahmyr Gibbs 17 touches to get 65 rushing yards.
It was work for Saquon. It was work for ETN. It's been work for all of them. And they're not giving up easy rushing yards to big backs.
And that's the difference between, their second level with, this is why it's important to have 3. And, the game shifts and it moves in certain directions. And I know we talked about Chiefs being under center more. The Lions brought a 6 offensive linemen on the field regularly. It's starting to get back into that, hey, let's just get in that traditional jumbo I formation, strong side looks under center to where you need 3 capable linebackers again. So, again, do the Bills have 3 good linebackers like the Chiefs do when it comes to Drew Tranquill, Nick Bolton, and Leo Chenal, who's obviously their Swiss Army knife? I'm a little concerned, despite the schedule. And, I trust Mike Vrabel. You ain't got to tell you say Mike Vrabel, coach. And I said good coach. He took it about as far as he could in Tennessee, and I don't know why, that didn't sort of, continue the way it probably should. Tennessee's been awful since they got rid of Mike Vrabel, but Mike Vrabel knows how to coach, guys. So that game late in the year for Buffalo, going to New England, that all of a sudden doesn't look so fun and friendly. I guess they could still be the 1 seed. I know the Colts are in the wing. We'll see how they play against Jacksonville, but
what do you think of the
Chiefs just need to be healthy by January.
What do you think of the Chiefs' chances of the 1 seed? Because right now, look, they got the Broncos and Chargers still in front of them in their own division. But we were just going through. I said for them to have a shot at it, they to me have to at least split with the Broncos, beat the Chargers in the rematch, beat the Colts, and beat the Bills.
Yeah, and that's all possible. and not have a chance.
Not favored in all those games, probably.
Yeah, not have a stumble on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys, because again, the Cowboys can't score the ball, even though they can't stop anybody as well. If I go through the Chiefs' schedule right now, and again, I know we're schedule jumping here a bit.
Their schedule's still tough.
Yeah, I mean, Washington, that might be a backs against the wall kind of game for them in 2 weeks. The bye week, I think, comes at a really good time for the Chiefs in week 10. Then they can make the push.
Then they go to Denver, but they get 2 weeks in order to come into it.
The trade deadline is their bye week, too, so
Correct.
that's convenient, perhaps,
exactly.
if they decide to do anything.
It's possible. I think there's a chance that the Chiefs sweep Denver. Because I just want to remind people the last time the Chiefs played the Denver Broncos.
Their offense looks bad. Their defense is amazing. That offense just looks horrendous right now. And with Bo Nix, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Guys, last year they said, you know what? We're gonna let y'all into the playoffs. We ain't playing anybody. And you know what? We're not even we're gonna be so vanilla that it's gonna be hard for Carson Wentz to get another job. Now, God bless him, he's done well in Minnesota, but our playbook gonna be so vanilla. They ran up the score. 38 nothing, guys.
So what? Prove a point against Carson Wentz in the backups?
I mean, don't you dare think Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo have forgotten about January 5th of this year, where they just said, hey, we're going to be respectful. Okay. We're not going to treat it like a preseason game, but obviously we got to rest our guys. Like, hey, we don't like Cincinnati either. You know what? You won that game, you can get in the playoffs.
Come on in.
Man, that Sean Payton better have them boys ready off the Chiefs bye week, because I just think coaches don't forget those days.
No, they don't.
They don't. Where you can tell Spags was like, I want to blitz this man so bad. And Andy's like, you can't do it. We can't do it. It's got to be drop 7 and just keep everything in front of you.
Speaking of Spags, I don't think he has any kind of realistic shot at getting a head coaching job this offseason. I just think age and defense and his record when he was a head coach is going to make it really hard for Spags to ever be a head coach again in the NFL.
Yes.
Matt Nagy's going to be the Titans head coach, right? I mean, that's just we're just done here.
Wait, you're that convinced?
Dude,
he's going to get an interview.
His name, I was getting an interview.
Yeah, that's easy.
But his name got floated
quarterback.
Immediately.
Rappaport put his name on the street in a second.
I understand. I guess what we don't know the answer. Does he like Cam Ward? That's honestly, if he doesn't believe in Cam Ward, then he's not taking the job.
Sorry, no, Matt Nagy's definitely saying he likes Cam Ward.
Hey, Matt Nagy, look at me. I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward can play.
I think Cam Ward can play too.
It's also tough when it's like Tyler Lockett looks sad. I would have never given Calvin Ridley that much money. No, sir, you are unreliable. No, I cannot give you that money.
That team's talentless.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty weak.
Well, hey, we need a running back. Who's the Titans running back, ladies and gentlemen?
Tony Pollard.
Come on now.
Should have given Rico
Tony
Dowdle
Pollard.
money.
But see, I think Brashard Smith can eventually be that type of back.
Yeah, but like
if they give him an opportunity,
he runs.
Hey, we're in week 6. All right. We just got
to working there. They're building up.
Just build him up.
Every time Brashard Smith touches the ball, there's some juice. There's some juice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun when it's like I in the press box. I was like, look how many people he's carrying.
Yeah,
he makes people miss.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool when they give him the ball in space. Hey, if you're gonna get under center with Isaiah Pacheco, let us see it a couple times with Brashard Smith.
You think Nagy should be considered the favorite for the job in Tennessee?
I don't know if he should be considered the favorite, but he's got to be up there.
Offshore odds have him as the favorite. I'm serious. I got an email today from an offshore book.
Who else do they have? Out of curiosity.
I know. The other guy that really should be considered is Joe Brady.
Okay, so Matt Nagy's 3-1 offshore.
Yep.
Joe Brady 4-1. Arthur Smith 5-1. Mike McCarthy 6-1.
We're not giving Steve Spagnuolo another job.
7-1.
Don't you dare mention.
Oh, McCarthy's going to be the head coach of the New York Jets next year. I already decided.
Stop it.
Yep, Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Jets next year. Happening. Yep.
Look, no.
Yep.
No. And I think
Rodgers back.
If I had to be an advocate for Steve Spagnuolo, it's hey, it's not like you're not gonna be prepared on game day. And it's not like you can't have a pretty good staff that could develop young players. We've seen the Chiefs do that over the last 5 years with young defensive players. They come in on rookie contracts. They get better over the course of the season. He sort of, tinkers a little bit, puts Jamari Conner in the slot when he has no business doing that. But then he's like, oh, wait, we have to win this game? Cool.
No Williams. Welcome. He's so good. He was really good against Amon-Ra.
Yes.
He guarded him on multiple snaps. He only allowed 3 catches for 7 yards. He was physical with him.
Yep.
They didn't let Amon-Ra get more than 10 yards down the field.
It's
I feel
wild.
before they beat him up.
And I kept looking like, it's not like, to your point, Alex, it's not like Jared Goff didn't have time for a significant portion of the game. So, hey, we cannot give this man another job. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We all remember the story where he, McCarthy told Jerry Jones, "No, man, I've been watching the analytics.
He admitted he lied later. I might have been kidding though. Maybe not Mike McCarthy will be a head coach again next year. He's absolutely going to be a head coach next year in the NFL. It's a retread league.
He blatantly lied to Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Bring him aboard.
I'm saying McCarthy will be a head coach next year again, and I think the Jets is a real possibility.
Shake my head.
Now, the way things are going for Aaron Glenn, he's not going to survive after a year. It is bad.
They're getting worse.
They've had some terrible coaches there. I think he now has the worst start in Jets history or something. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. And
he got reports that teammates don't think Justin Fields is the best quarterback on the roster. It's all falling apart.
Yikes.
Anyway, back to
the last thing I'll say about this is, if Matt Nagy walks in there and says, hey, obviously I've worked with Patrick Mahomes. You know what it's like for me and you, Mike. We did this before. We can do it again. Hey, he is talented. Cam Ward is talented. So, hey, let's not – hopefully he doesn't,
Don't let these guys develop too many bad habits with them before I get there.
Yeah, but hey, you might want to sit them down in December when you're mathematically eliminated. So I can come in, do my thing. We'll get some young players in. We're going to have a top pick.
We can trade down and get several players.
If that happens, and I know that I'm feeding right into the Twitter stream right now, come on home, Mike McDaniel. Come home.
Oh, man.
Come home. I want those press conferences.
I want the press. They seem. I don't see that personality with Andy Reid. Just seems like it's not happening.
It's not happening. What would happen is
what I want is his run scheme. I don't want anything else but that. I just want his run design.
Yeah, but also Andy Reid might say, "Okay, Matt Nagy, congratulations, you're now the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Hey, you might even take a couple coaches off the staff. You might take a couple guys in the front office. You want to rebuild this thing in Tennessee? Cool. Where's Mike Kafka?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Not a head
Brian
coach.
Dable. Are you still a head coach?
That's the thing. He might be saving his job. We'll see.
Well, hey.
Jackson Dart's trying.
Scatterboo is the best thing that's happened to the NFL.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He's so awesome.
It's
fun. Not going to last, guys, but you tell me he's Mike All-Star, I'm tuning in. Guys, I mean,
he's just fun.
He's so fun. We had a lot of fun last year with Carson Steele, and that lasted for a month. And then it was like Kareem Hunt came aboard, and it was like, okay, yeah, that's right. You guys are trying to win 3 straight Super Bowls. I love Carson Steele. Scatterboo's like, what if I took it to the next level? Sir, get all these carries. Put up Larry Johnson's stats.
He's like a party time. It's just like a party time football player.
It's so great.
It's like if Michelangelo the Ninja Turtle became a football player. Just step foot on a football field. That's all it ever feels like. And you're like, that's why you're fun.
Hey, Mike Kafka, if you want to be the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs next year, just run Scatterboo into the ground. And I say that very tongue-in-cheekly, but he's a cool player, man. He saw Nick Bolton in the B gap and said, I mean, I could try to avoid him. One of my favorite plays of that Chiefs-Giants game. I could try to bounce it to the outside, but why would I do that? I would just hit him right in his chest with my helmet. And Nick Bolton was like, who does this? You can tell after the play, Nick Bolton was like, dude, I tackle people for a living. What was that?
With Cam Ward, isn't it crazy now? I mean, and this isn't the only guy. There's other first-round picks, other second-round picks. This is the 4th straight number 1 overall pick who's fired their coach midseason. What are you idiots?
It's not his fault.
Look, I get why you had the number 1 pick, because this is how bad of an organization you are.
Correct.
If you're taking, I just straight up, if you were picking number 1, and you're taking a quarterback number 1, you were the worst team in the NFL and you're taking a quarterback number 1, that coach has to go. I'll just be honest with you. It went so bad. I don't care who the coach is. They got to go.
Yeah.
We're starting fresh.
That's a good
clean.
point.
We're getting our guy. We are never keeping our coach. If we're the number 1 overall pick and we're selecting, unless it's the 1 year where Peyton Manning gets hurt and we're taking Andrew Luck. Okay.
Right.
Okay. In the rarest of exceptions.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's a good point, too, because you have months to scout, evaluate, make sure that you know who you're taking with the number one pick. If it's the same, you'd like to have the good problem of what we saw last night in Washington, where it's like, man, both of these quarterbacks are really talented between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. And so if you have that, then yeah, now you could essentially, if money's not an issue and the contract's not an issue, you could fire your coach, go get someone who from day one, this is the marriage that I'm putting together. This is the way I'm starting this. Unless you're doing the Chiefs version of the Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes transition, which I think does need to be studied and actually applied more often than it has been, because that veteran guy, if he's willing like Alex is, can do so much for the organization that is not in the statistical box score on his Pro Football Reference page. If you're not going to go that route, then yeah, it is smart to say, okay, hey, Mike McDaniels, instead of sticking you with Tua Tagovailoa, which we all knew at the time, you better work miracles. And guys, for a year and a half, he worked miracles with a quarterback who got
Tua paid.
Yes.
Got Tua paid. And, they made the trade for Tyreek Hill. So they went in a slightly different manner. But it would be nice if Mike McDaniel came into the league as a first-time head coach and was like, we know you're an offensive guy. We know you got schemes and concepts for days. Let's get you the actual quarterback you would prefer in this year's draft class to build upon that. Before we let you go, Nate Taylor from ESPN hanging out with us on Cody and Gold. The trade deadline, first week or whatever it is of November.
Yeah.
Cody and I were discussing this earlier. Not necessarily that I wouldn't still be excited if they did this, but I wonder with the way the offense is trending, what they're now getting out of the backfield and all that, are you now more convinced that the running back trade thing is not happening?
I won't say it won't happen.
Okay.
But you'll sniff around. I think if you're the Chiefs, you push when it comes to the running back, you push it to the deadline, see if you can get something for a little bit of a appreciation in terms of draft capital. Hey, I still like the running back. I still like Alvin Kamara in New Orleans.
I like Achane.
I like Achane too. Is Josh McDaniels going to be there for the trade deadline? Will he be fired by then? Who knows? So yeah, I think you just wait it out if you want to get serious about still having a running back. I do not know this man's situation. Let me see what he been up to.